Welcome back to a corporate time. Uh-oh.
What are your names?
My God, the regenerative
What
brakes
just
just
happened?
kicked on.
Did you lose your place because you were tying your shoe?
You can't multitask.
You can't tie your
Why'd
shoe.
you do that?
You can't tie your shoe and say, welcome back to a corporate time with Tom and
I
Dad.
saw
I'm
him.
Tom.
I saw him pull the strings and then go, uh-oh.
And then the strings fell. Never pulled the strings.
The words fell out of his
You're
head.
like, are you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. And I'm like, I'm tying my shoe, and I'm like, I can do this.
Let me ask you a question.
I've been broadcasting for 20 years.
Let me ask you a question.
I can tie my shoes and then just say welcome back, but I
You
just
can't.
I can't.
You can't.
You said welcome back.
You know what's
forgot
funny?
your name.
He is a single-celled organism. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I started with the welcome back, and then I started going into the intro.
Yeah.
And tying
It's
my
fine.
shoes.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Mo DeWitt's here. How you doing, Mo?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
How confident do you feel in this sponsorship?
Yeah, I hope you don't lose confidence.
Same confidence I've
I
always
gotta
had.
tell you,
All
If
right.
I was sitting on a couch,
Mo
and
knew I
then-
couldn't tie my shoe and do something.
If I was sitting on a couch and somebody that I, maybe paid to talk about me and keep my brand, and then he was tying his shoe, and then he did. I looked up and was like, "Where am I?" That would be bad.
Yeah. It's also if you ever try to tie your shoe with your legs crossed, like that's difficult as well.
I've never tried to do
Yeah,
that.
I can only do it where I hold my breath and
And then bend over. And you gotta tie fast. Tie fast.
Yeah.
Go. We're running out of air.
How you doing, Mo?
You two are very talented.
It's good to see you, man.
to see
How
you
you
guys.
been?
Yeah.
Doing well.
See, you don't have to be good at everything. Just the one thing.
Yeah.
Just
One little thing. That's all you need.
I'm looking
Just
for
one
my
thing.
thing. I've been looking for my thing to see what I'm good at.
If you're Tyreek Hill, just gotta run.
Yeah.
You
Well,
don't have to
catch.
learn.
You gotta catch. You gotta catch.
Yeah, I gotta catch too. Yeah, but just really run.
Yeah.
That's the main
Fast.
focus. So Mo, it's Halloween season. I don't
Yep.
know if you're aware.
Spooky season, as people call it. I see.
You didn't see his David S. Pumpkins video?
I saw the pumpkin.
Yeah.
I also saw the Mo.
those make Tom uncomfortable. We've talked about this before. The
Yeah.
fact that Mo is
Well,
so
Mo
free.
likes to have fun.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
And the fact that Mo, I mentioned this in the office. I said, "Do you think?" I'll just tell. We're talking about you, and I don't we don't nothing bad, but I was like, "Do you think other attorneys and other people that do what Mo does, pull him aside and find it, because they're I'm sure there's a jealousy there of being able to be free with yourself."
I think
know what
there
I-
is. Like
Yeah.
I have a good buddy of mine who's an attorney and I think wants to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
But he was just raised like very straight laced, and he just can't. He could never bring himself to
Yeah,
do
Is
it.
it the guy with the tiger in his office?
Tiger.
Is that guy still in business? I don't
The
even
guy
know.
with a tiger in his
I
arm.
know. I know who you're
commercial,
talking
you know,
about.
the
Yeah, no,
blonde
it's not
guy?
him. It's not
Yeah.
him.
No, but seriously, I bet that they see that and they're like, "Man, I wish I could pretend to be David S. Pumpkins." And seriously,
Of course,
Right.
it's
seriously.
But Mo, you have the advantage of you've always been doing it, so
Yeah.
you can continue. You can't just start David S. Pumpkin out of
jump right in.
I want all
Yeah,
other
yeah.
attorneys to
Yeah,
start
that-
doing it because that's where we get the good
The
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
firm will think you're crazy.
They will. They will.
You know what I'm
You'll
saying?
get fired.
You can't
You'll
just
get
go
fired.
from nothing
No.
to pumpkins.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you walk in, you got the jack-o'-lantern suit on, you got
Yeah,
the
yeah.
white stripe in your hair. You're
yeah.
I
You're
mean,
doing the
if you're
crazy
trying to get
dance.
fired like George Costanza, you work at a big law firm, give it a try.
Yeah, you can't just go from nothing then to photoshopping your face like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. Let's talk about that. How'd the magnets go? Are we done with the rollout?
We have one more coming out, and all three have sold out so far. We got
Nice.
one more. I don't think I can say what it is.
Okay.
But
That's fair.
they were fun.
Vulgar.
People seem to like them.
Yeah, they love the magnets.
So back to Halloween.
Okay.
So
They were Halloween magnets on brand.
Yeah.
On
Yes.
brand.
So recently, we went to a Halloween store, and then we let my sons pick out two Halloween decorations. It's become a Van family tradition.
Okay.
So they one picked out some lady sitting on a swing that swings from our tree or whatever,
Okay.
like a ghost lady.
What, like the fat bear at the Country Bear Jamboree, like the Petunia
Yeah,
bear?
but,
or-
she's more like a Japanese ghost, long black
the
hair.
ring girl.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
ring girl.
So the ring girl.
Yeah,
Wait a minute, like an MMA ring girl?
No, like a long.
By the way,
black
this is
hair.
I'm holding my hands up like I'm holding a sign that says round one. This
Yeah.
is the charades for ring girl.
And then
And you gotta go like this.
the other
Oh,
one
I love them.
picked out a jumping spider.
The
and-
classic.
Yeah.
And
Jumping Spider's great.
I know the jumping spider that he was describing to me, and it's one I've always wanted. It's the one on the wire, right? That comes up fast.
It's like on some sort of mechanism.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a wire that shoots
yeah,
it forward.
Yeah, it's like a catapult that when it basically it's controlled by noise. I thought it was like some motion sensor, but
noise activated.
Noise
Interesting.
activated. and then it pops
Well, your
out.
boys are so quiet, it'll never go off.
And then plays some like over-modulated like
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
the
do
speaker like
I do love a good Chinese,
Yeah.
like they have a recording and they have like the old Vincent Price laughter, but then they overmodulate it and they
Yeah,
put the
yeah.
tiny little speaker in there.
yeah. So then, in fact, we scared my wife with it last night.
I got this.
Because
can I see if I can put
Yeah,
this
yeah.
up here?
I'll show Mo where.
Queen prank got pranked, huh?
Yeah, right.
And I'm gonna put this up on social media
we
later.
go.
But I told the boys to go around and tell my wife that.
Go around, tell that bitch I bought you.
I told Max.
Oh,
I told.
that's okay.
I told Max.
God. I told Max to run in and
rough day.
tell Mom that Tommy got hurt outside.
That's
And-
messed up,
so
dude.
she'll come out.
Too far.
I'm like,
you need
say-
to work on your manipulation techniques,
I'm
and
like,
you actually
too
call her
far.
mom.
Well,
Is that how you guys refer to it? You're like, go tell Dad that.
Well, what do I say? Go tell Crystal. Like
You don't have like a pet. You don't say like, go tell Mama. Or,
my mama.
yeah, like Mama.
I don't know.
Well, why is everything with you got to
Hey,
go?
pretty mama.
Go tell Mother that the pie is ready.
And then I'm like, go tell Mom that Tommy's having a seizure outside. And
Okay,
then
I
so
like
she'll
that.
come out. And
Put
then,
the shaving cream around his lips.
and so here we go. Mo.
Okay,
We'll
here-
watch this.
here-
right
there's
now.
a
And
little-
this will lead me into my law question.
Okay,
I
here we
promise.
go.
But you'll get an idea. It's right by the door. First, it didn't go off at first. So
Oh, good.
So this is where. Got her
nice.
good.
Wow,
I like
you
it.
laughed more than the kids did.
Why'd you laugh like it?
He finally got it. Yeah, that was a maniacal laugh.
So anyway, you can't see it because
Take
it's in
a
the
drink,
dark.
buddy. Take
but,
a drink.
yeah,
Something's going on over there.
Yeah, hold on.
There we go.
Ah, God, get that nice Bacardi in the veins.
The spider jumps out. Anyway, so now it's sitting by our front door, and we have it on. And
Never turn it off.
And our idea is to scare the mailman.
Yeah, all the people that hate you already.
that's what he needs.
And
The
then-
mailman hates them. No, they already hate. The mailman hates him, and so do the garbage men.
Yeah.
And then anybody who comes to our door.
Move it out to the cans and have it jump at the cans for the garbage men.
Sometimes the neighbors come and ring the doorbell
Brought you
about
some
some sort of
cookies.
problem that we're
Your
having.
wallet's out here in my yard
And so,
in pieces.
but then I got to thinking because I'm always thinking about what would Mo say to me about what I'm
Are
doing.
you thinking that? I think if you did, you wouldn't do half
I
the
mean,
stuff
every
you do.
morning he does say that. I mean, I'll be, you okay in there? And he's like, just thinking about what Mo would tell me to do. I'm like, okay.
By the
all
way,
right.
the American Ninja Warrior thing is still
Still
up.
up.
Oh, man.
we hung our Halloween decorations from
Yes.
it. Like we got a bloody feet hanging from it.
Yeah,
But,
Bloody clothesline.
Foreshadowing.
yeah. So anyway, I started
I
thinking.
mean,
I was
at
like,
least some feet are using it.
what if our mailman comes to deliver the mail because our mail slot is next to the front door?
Hey,
And
I
then-
know what that means. When your mail slot's close to your front door, that means you have a small taint.
And then the jumping spider scares him, and he gets scared back, hits his head,
It could happen.
and then something happens.
Yeah.
He injures himself. Can I be sued, Mo, for scaring my mailman? Hitting his head.
All she needs to do is, or he needs to hit his head like that. Remember the vocal coach in New York City who was pushed over and she, hit her head, brain bleed, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can see you.
No, that's it. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, break out the
Oh, it's
magnets,
Halloween. That
everybody.
means you can't sue
Right.
anybody. I don't
Spirit
understand.
Halloween sold me this jumping spider. It didn't say on the outside.
You gotta
like,
use it responsibly.
Yeah,
you know-
it's an indoor spider. You gotta
Well,
use
you-
it inside to scare yourself.
No, but you're using it to scare people that come up to your door. That's the whole purpose of it. You would think that Spirit would be some class action lawsuit
Yeah.
if this was a problem.
And which is better, because there's spirit, and now I started seeing these Halloween cities, and I don't trust the Halloween cities.
And then
I'm with you.
isn't it there like a what is it called when you
Attractive nuisance?
No, not that.
Dude,
Oh, wait,
don't
wait.
bring that up.
Reasonable expectation that people will have Halloween decorations and
it's
jump
spooky
scares.
season.
So that anyone coming to your door, if they see Halloween decorations, you can expect that maybe
The
something
unexpected.
will
You expect the
expect the
unexpected.
unexpected.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, write that down, Sam.
Yeah, I don't think that's a legal defense.
All right.
At least not that I've heard of.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought
maybe.
it was the old Halloween expect the unexpected
Oh,
defense. We're
right.
all in this together, closer to the same than we
Yeah.
are different.
So
No,
yeah.
it's just you can't just like you. It's having this stuff.
So does this
does
happen
leave
a
you
lot now?
liable?
Like, I guess
Well-
the broader question is, like, during spooky season, are we going to have a myriad of people getting hurt and injured? And
I mean, it's unlikely. It probably very rarely happens, and something jumps at somebody and they get scared and they fall back. And most of the time, even if they fall, they're probably not injured very much. But every once in a while, sure, it could happen where they get severely injured, and then you would be liable.
what if a man who needs a double hip transplant is there and the spider jumps out and my normal cat-like reflexes are retarded
Aw.
because I'm so scared and I fall backwards and twist my ankle? Can I sue him?
Yeah, you can still sue them because we have what's called the eggshell doctrine. So basically,
That's me.
even if you're fragile, if
Yes.
something still happens to you and you get injured, it's still the person's fault, basically.
Boom! Look at that.
I prefer to call it the Humpty Dumpty because it's more insulting.
I'd like to cite the case of Humpty v. Dumpty.
He had a great fall.
And I realize I've talked to you about this, I think, in previous Halloween seasons. But if you have the stereotypical haunted house walkthrough your
That's
backyard, or
Probably not a
whatever,
good idea.
and someone falls and hurts themselves in your backyard, and then they want to sue your homeowner's insurance, right? But then your homeowner's insurance found out that you had this Halloween walkthrough, and then your homeowner's insurance hey, we're not paying this because you. This is something
you
that
did
we didn't.
this.
Yeah, it's like having a trampoline in your
Sure.
backyard or whatever.
It's like a
Somebody-
spooky trampoline that people walk through. And,
Yeah.
You are now doing something outside of the
Ooh, put the
normal
trampoline in the walkthrough.
behavior. Yeah, yeah.
Right? You got to walk through, then jump
Bounce 'em right
out.
off.
Yeah, you got to jump out of the haunted house.
Like your homeowner's insurance are wait, we're not insuring your own personal haunted house walkthrough.
Right.
We didn't approve this, so we're not paying this claim. Can they do that?
Well, I mean, insurance is a contract, right? You have your insurance policy with your insurance company, and that's essentially a contract that outlines what they cover and what they don't. So with a haunted house, if you were charging for it, that'd probably be a commercial venture, and then that would be one exclusion, so they wouldn't cover it. If you're just having people walk through your house and there's decorations or walk around your house, well, that's probably covered because it's no different than having a bunch of people over for Halloween or having a party at your house or something along those lines. But if there's other hazards that you put in there that are excluded by the policy, then they could find an exclusion there. So what the insurance company is always going to do is look at that policy and try to find exclusions. So if you give them a reason to give them an exclusion, then they're going to say, we don't cover it. And that's kind of
Gotcha.
what their game is, essentially.
that makes sense.
I could see if I was the head of an insurance company, I would be like, well,
You look like the head of an insurance company.
You made your backyard dark, and you have a strobe light going on,
Yeah.
and you have tripping hazards all over the place.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun of a haunted
Yeah,
house.
No, I know, but this is essentially setting up people
Right.
to fall down because it's
That's
not
the funny
wet-
part is when they fall down. Yeah.
and therefore it's like you're creating an obstacle course, and then having all the neighborhood try to walk through it, and it's this is not just a normal backyard barbecue
Right.
with your friends. And
Yeah,
so
not a good idea.
Yeah, I could see. Although you rarely hear that happening. I think people are be cool, bro, during Halloween, where you would think a lot of more people get hurt, walking through people's backyards and stuff, and they just don't sue.
I would
because
guess
of-
the backyard stuff's okay, but when I remember even as a kid in the 80s, I remember going to one of these, and this was the beginning of the end, right? This is, to tell you a story, the beginning of the end of when things were fun. And Mo probably, I am the oldest here, but Mo he's probably heard of this. It's I remember in DeLand, one of the service clubs, the male service club, it was either the Lions Club or the Kiwanis, was doing a haunted house walkthrough. And I remember as a kid that's where you just went. You had all of them. The Lions Club had one. Kiwanis had one. The Shriners had one. You'd go to the thing, and for a very minimal fee, your parents could let you walk through the haunted house. It was awesome. We walked through the Kiwanis one, and somebody got grabbed. Somebody got, inappropriately grabbed. I remember this as a little kid, and that was the begin. I remember that was it. Because they started getting sued and they started getting shut down, and we can't do that, and we're not going to be able to, you can't just set up a building and make it all and then just run people through it like it's no big deal. And that was the 80s.
And wasn't that Terror on Church Street? Did they have that issue too? They
Terror
got
on
sued
Church
or
Street
something?
may have had that issue. Yeah, we could even look that up. By the way, Terror on Church Street in its heyday was one of the best attractions the city ever had. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing and super duper scary. A lot of my friends worked there. But yeah, it all got shut down because that whole, like, I mean, obviously you shouldn't be inappropriately touching people, but, you know, I mean.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was inappropriate if someone just got touched or
right.
grabbed or
I
whatever
mean,
it
where's
was,
the line on that, right? We don't know. I mean, you could just touch somebody's hair, and that could be inappropriate to them. So, and maybe you shouldn't be doing that. So, and it all got shut down.
Well, what I know is if you hire a bunch of teens and don't pay them anything and just say like, hey, will you get to scare someone that'll
They'll
work
never
out
go
well.
too far. Yeah. Exactly.
So Mo, last weekend, I was hanging out with my friends for the NoFX concert. Everybody ends up getting drunk, and then my wife and some of my friends, including the Grizz and his brother Little Grizz, end up taking out those Lime scooters around downtown in the middle of the night, blacked out drunk.
Yeah.
And
they're driving them on the grass until they shut off because they're inside the geo-fenced area where they shouldn't be riding them.
And they're jumping curbs. They're riding around these Lime scooters.
Like, middle-aged animals.
May have had a few drinks prior to.
And I know
they were committing Lime crimes.
We've asked you about this before, but how is this still going on and this company not been sued out of existence? Because it seems like you just leaving electric scooters downtown for any Grizz to drive drunk at any time is, I mean, it's a recipe for this never existing anymore.
I would also like to piggyback on that I believe Samantha and myself have both seen people that crashed them that were like, oh, they're dead.
Yeah.
I watched
like
a guy's teeth break.
Yeah, like I saw a lady go backwards, no helmet. I know helmets are big in your lane, you know, like for me too. Bam, right on the concrete. I'm like, yeah, you bring up an excellent question because more than 50% of our staff here has seen somebody actively be injured on a Lime scooter.
But to me, it's more of the Lime scooter person like going in front of a car and that car swerving and the person injuring themselves in the car, right? Because the Lime scooter, if you're driving it drunk or whatever, there's probably you have this contract when you rent it. You know, it's saying like, hey, you're promising that you are.
It also tells you to put on a helmet too.
Yeah, and you know. So
nobody does. It does. It says that. It shows a picture of a helmet just in case you're dumb.
But then
nobody does it.
Through the person swerving to avoid them, they get injured, and I'm their insurance company, and I'm like, well, it's the Lime scooter's fault,
right?
And it's the Lime scooter's company's fault for being negligent and having these things like available for every drunk person.
And they're just everywhere in the way.
Yeah. So do you? I mean. Mo, you've had to have seen this and be like, how could this happen?
Yeah, I mean, we get calls on it all the time, honestly. And I mean, you're exactly right. It all boils down to the contract that you sign when you use the Lime app, when you log on.
Yeah.
And it basically says that you're responsible for it. They're not responsible for anything. It tells you to wear a helmet. Nobody ever does. So, yeah, if somebody hits them, it's somebody else's fault. Sure, you can sue that person. But otherwise, if they're falling down, if they're breaking teeth and it's their own fault or they're just not operating it properly, it kind of comes back to them, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it because you're not operating the thing properly.
Yeah, and you have electronically opted into all of that,
right? Exactly.
As soon as you download the app, I think it asks you some questions, even before you even put a credit card in. Then when you put a credit card in, it asks you a bunch of questions. And then I think when you even rent the scooter, it asks you a bunch of questions. So...
It just seems like, you know,
I've only ridden one, and the one I had was so rickety. I'm like, it was like the gas would work, or the throttle rather would work a little bit, but it wasn't like super well maintained. You know, it even like I don't know. Nah, I'm not a fan.
And I guess this is the last question that I have that I've been curious about ever since the pandemic with all these people working from home, and now there's lots of jobs that are work from home. And
my wife says totally from home.
Yeah. I know some people that primarily just work from home. And how does workman's comp work when you're at home? If you're in your house and let's say you're sitting at your computer, I know you're not doing warehouse
comp?
work, but your homeowner's insurance takes care of you if you get injured at home. But then I can imagine both insurance companies not wanting to pay a claim. Like say you sit down at your desk to work from home and then you pull your back or something, or you hurt yourself, right? And then you're technically doing in the act of doing work.
Sure. So the company, but you're at your own dwelling,
yeah. So then I'm sure there's probably a lot of problems with that.
So I had a conversation with an insurance adjuster about this very issue. And right now it's still kind of a gray issue because it's basically, were you doing a work-related duty at the time that you got injured? Well, that can be somewhat arbitrary because, you're walking back to your desk and you stub your toe. Well, you were walking to work, I guess, but you're just walking through your house or you're, walking, you slip on your kid's toy, break your back or
Right.
something.
And who's going to say that they weren't doing
Right.
a work task at the time?
Now,
you
I think
know?
it's pretty hard to legitimately get injured on the job while working from home if you're just working at a computer. I mean, I'm sure there's a scenario, but I don't know what it is.
Well, if I'm cleaning the leaves out of my gutter, because I'm obviously not doing any work from home. I'm
Right,
just
right.
doing
Well, you
work.
already finished it earlier that day.
Yeah, but then
Right.
I fall off my roof. I'm
Yeah.
going to drag my broken legs to
Sir,
my
your computer's covered in leaves and soil.
Have you learned nothing from the Foot Locker incident or Champs or whatever it
Well,
was?
I'm
Yeah.
going to drag myself to my computer chair,
and
lift
lay there
myself
and die
up,
on the computer.
and then sit with my, I just fell off my roof, and
You
then
also have a Spuds McKenzie party all the time shirt on.
call my boss and be like, I was just sitting here typing,
Yeah.
and I broke my back.
I can see on Zoom
It
you're
just
wearing
broke.
your pleasure clothes, sir.
Hard to prove that didn't happen, I guess. Anyway, so it's still a gray area that they're still working out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's been a ton of claims where that's happened, but yeah, it's kind of a gray area at this point.
Gotcha.
What you need to do is to have it happen while you're on Zoom meeting. Like fall out of your chair, like, oh, and then there's proof. Because everybody saw you in a Zoom meeting fall out of your chair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you previously hurt yourself and then just pretend to
Yeah.
hurt yourself again during the Zoom meeting, it's all about
Hurt me once.
it's all about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
evidence. You got to collect the evidence.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. You have to clean yourself off, covered in leaves and rain.
Mo, do you have any plans coming up for the holidays?
Yeah, what are your Halloween costumes? I've been dying to know if you have like a bunch of different ones, if you're just like, you do enough dressing up as it is, you're like, you know what, that's the one night where I mow.
Usually I don't dress up. We're still working out what my son's Halloween costume is going to be.
Okay.
Right now he wants to be Ursula. He likes all the evil villains from the Disney movies.
That's an excellent choice.
Yeah, so that's where he is right now. We'll see. Sometimes it changes, though. You never know. So.
Hey, I may shoot you a text later, and maybe you could open up the gate so I can come trick or treat in your neighborhood.
We don't have gates.
I'm just saying.
They don't like that.
The
What you got to do is you got to get behind a car,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
when they go through, you got to step on it. In my Tesla,
Floor
I
it.
go through fast. I'm like,
Yeah. It seemed like everybody, like all of Castleberry,
we
banded
know.
together during the pandemic and really did put out a great effort. But then it's been going downhill
it
since
has.
then.
The pandemic kind of killed it for you guys.
Yeah. After
You guys
that,
had your heyday when it was you'd drive by and you'd boo people when you would just drop off, stuff.
Yeah.
The
It was
minute
just.
we have to circumvent your neighborhoods is when it gets a little dicey.
It seemed like everybody kind of stopped trying and then went back to the old school. Let's go to the rich neighborhood.
Yeah,
trick or treat.
it's back.
Yeah. And that's
And I know it's coming. It's like winter coming. In Baldwin, we stand at like the top of the wall. We're like the Night's Watch, and we look out and we
See the zombies coming
We
towards
can see
you.
all the red eyes of the Castleberry dwellers. And we see all the walkers are coming.
Yeah, because last year we went around Castleberry and we're like, where's a ghost
Yeah.
town here? We're like, what happened to all the
Do you know what we call
decorations
you
and the
guys?
parties?
Do you know what we call you guys? The Brown Walkers. The Brown Walkers are coming.
Injured on the go, just call Mo for, it's the easiest thing to do.
It is.
The DeWitt Law Firm will help you out.
You
Mo
don't know what
DeWitt.
you're doing. Get somebody
No.
who does.
Thank you, Mo. We
Yeah, thank you
appreciate it.
guys.
And we will be right back.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Great job, y'all. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
That was awesome, man. Let me save that guy. And
easy.
yes, sir. Well, good luck with the Ursula costume. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. See if he actually goes with it.
I'm trying to think of the villains.
Then you should be Flounder.
Ooh. Yeah.
Or you could be one of the eels, I guess.
Where's that go?
Wednesday 3.
Thank you, ma'am. Good seeing you too, Forrest. Do we have any? We don't have anything.
No, that's the first thing we have there.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, see you, Mo.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for everything, man. We'll see you soon. You said 1,
3.
3. Dumb brain. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. That was fun. Let's see what else we got to do here. Tidbit Generation 2. What's the difference in Tidbit version 2? I just got another Tidbit version 1.
I'm trying to upsell you now.
That's how they get you. I love my Tidbit. Might hold out for the...
Is Tidbit still going on, the podcast?
I don't believe so. I honestly don't know, though. See you guys. All right. What are we doing here? Weird job? Yeah. Do I have time to pee?
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
going to have to pee, too.
Okay, cool. You can go first if you want to. Oh, Big Doug says he likes the old Tidbit better. Yeah, the old Tidbit looks a little less futuristic. Like this one looks a little more like wooden and like lo-fi, which is the whole point of it. But I might have to snag a new one if I get a coupon for it because it's just a fun device. Not that Matthew doesn't have enough to do, but it'd be cool for somebody to build us a Tom and Dan Tidbit app. She on line 1?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just let her sit there until you've done peeing. This is a Tidbit right here. That thing. See, right now it's showing me the storms that are rolling through. I like the weather map. During the hurricane, it was fucking crazy because it was just all different colors swirling, mad like.
How long was that? 25, right?
Yes.
Okay.
24 and some change.
Okay. So I wonder if we should do weird job for Wednesday 4.
To give extra space for Nerdjock?
No,
Or
no.
for,
the young professor,
The
but
young professor.
we'll only do 20 minutes with him. I'm just trying to fit. I guess we'll just do. We'll start it off. It's fine.
what do you mean?
What we're
What are
thinking
you
about.
worried about?
Just where to. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get another 40 after we do EJ's Nerd Jock.
Can we do it tomorrow morning?
Well, it'll be Tuesday. It'll be for Tuesday's show.
Oh, for tonight's
Tonight,
show?
yeah. Well, we'll be fine because we could stick
What's going on up there?
one of these segments and.
Mo's blasting reggaeton. Alright. And then in 30 minutes we got the young professor, so we gotta
Alright.
keep this between 20 and 30.
Yeah.
All right. Line 1, you said?
Yes.
Which means line 2. What's her name again?
Jean?
Jean, or how do you say
Jan?
your name? I'm sorry, I don't want to mess it up.
It's Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Hey, Jeannie.
Yes.
Hey, Jeannie,
Yes.
thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you being on Weird Job, okay?
No problem.
All righty, hold on 1 second. We'll start. You probably know how this goes. And yeah, we'll be right back. All right, here we go. I can start.
All right.
This is a number 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2. It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now, and you can join the party every Monday through Friday. We live stream. We don't talk about it a lot because I'm bad at promoting. You can go to YouTube and search Tom and Dan Live. Also on Twitch, just Tom and Dan Live for every single show. Tons of like curated videos, YouTube shorts, all kinds of stuff you can check out.
Also, the History Center does this really cool trick-or-treat safe zone every year. It's October 28th. So if you're looking for something to do with the kids, they give out candy.
Yeah,
They've
Maisie
got
loves it.
multiple zones where they do a Halloween-related stuff.
If you're a parent and you're pressed for time with Halloween, because sometimes that happens, right? Like sometimes it pops in the middle of the week. No, I'm just telling you. Easiest thing you can do. You'll be in and out, tons of candy, different crafts and fun things to do. Your kid will love it.
Yeah, it's more than just going
It's
up
interactive.
to house and get. You can do a lot more activities.
Free.
Yeah, at the History Center.
Yeah, you just go there, hang out. Trust me, it's the right place to do it.
thehistorycenter.org. Let's do some weird job.
Sorry, took a swig of Mountain Dew. We're going back to the old one so people know what it sounds like. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. I also realize that all my songs sound nothing like this now. Dad really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. It's just basically me calling people slobs. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. When will songs like this with power come back to the radio? When will power
Radio?
Yeah, when will they come back to the power ballads? Come back to the radio to like just get you in the heart, get you in the feels.
Brought to you by Modern Plumbing Industries. Mention Tom and Dan for 10% off. Jeannie's on the line. How you doing, Jeannie?
I'm good. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good.
I dream of you.
Yeah.
Yay. Probably never heard that before, right?
Never.
Okay. All right. Off to a good start, Tom.
So, Jeannie, what is your weird job?
I sell concert merchandise.
All right.
Oh, so you
How do you get into this?
You see you probably see a lot of drunk people, right?
Yeah. I see more of that than anything else.
Okay, so do you work for one band or do you work for a company that works for many different bands?
I work for the merch company that's like affiliated with, say, Amway or Camping World, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So we do all different shows.
Gotcha. So how does so you just work locally when the artist comes into town, then you basically just sell their merch, you get it from them? How does that work?
Yeah, they bring it to, say, the Amway. I'm actually working Depeche Mode tonight.
Okay.
Now you're mentioning something that does bother me as a concert goer, okay? If I'm going to the venue, right, and I'm seeing Iron Maiden, and then I have a 71-year-old black guy wearing the Iron Maiden shirt, holding all of the merch, you see what I'm saying? Like the mismatch of stereotypes, sometimes I'll look at him and I'll be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
You want him to be with Iron Maiden.
I want a biker. I want a big gray biker Iron Maiden. I want everybody.
That's the bands that bring their own merch.
I know.
People, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
But I think you get to a certain level that you
have to have an army of people.
Yeah, or like you.
Oh no, you just use the company that's in town for
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
venue.
Yeah, they just bring their own merch, and then we have to, we unload it and everything and set everything up.
They make you unload it? Oh my God.
Yeah, we unload all the boxes and count everything, and then at the end of the night, count it again and put it back.
That's a hard
Do you get a
job.
chance to see any of the shows?
You can sometimes, if it's not like chaotic, you can walk down and peek in for a little bit. Depending on the venue, they may take you out.
Get to work. Do they do that? They're like, hey, get out the curtains.
Yeah. Like last week, I worked with Luke Bryan, and they kicked me out. So.
You worked with who?
Luke Bryan.
I worked with Luke Bryan.
Wow.
So
I love Luke Bryan.
Jeannie,
Me too.
is there a market price that everybody agrees on, or is every different band different price merch?
Every band is different. They make their own prices.
So
like if you work like a Jay-Z, he's going to charge $80 for a T-shirt versus a Garth Brooks that'll charge $25.
But do you get paid the same?
We get paid based on commission, however much we sell.
Oh, it's commission.
I did not know that.
I would rather have somebody.
Oh man, so you really got to be
priced.
slinging that stuff out.
Yeah, you got to work
we
hard.
got to hustle it.
Yeah, for Jay-Z, you got to work.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Oh, and so you get. So is it all commission?
Is there any base pay with commission?
No.
Damn.
Nope, it's all commission, and then you can get tips if somebody chooses to. But
so is this? So basically,
Carry your own fishbowl.
What you're getting
See,
paid?
this is interesting because typically when it's like a smaller band and you can tell it's like their friend that they brought on tour with them to do their merch, I will tip those people.
Yeah.
But when it's like the stadium, I wouldn't think that they are only commission. Now I feel like I gotta tip them.
Yeah, if it's I didn't know that. Now I feel like I got to tip them too. And also smaller bands, like sometimes the venue's taking a cut of that.
Right.
So I
Oh,
always
100%,
tip
yeah.
to try and make up for the fact that I know the venue's taking a cut. I had no idea what you did was commission based. That kind of changes my
Yeah.
concert experience
Hold
now.
on, I want the business to pay their employees fairly.
I mean,
That's not my
I
responsibility.
do too,
Yeah,
but they're
I'm
not
with
doing
you.
it. So
Oh,
I want
it's
to.
not my fault.
I didn't say it was, but I want to support Jeannie.
I was going around
Yeah.
handing out charity. I was like, everybody that I see that the business is screwing them over, I'm gonna tip them.
What is the easy, does it make your life harder? Like, let's say you do have a band that comes into town. Let's say you got Ghost, the metal band comes into town, and they're selling hats for $55 and hoodies for $90 and shirts for $60. Is that a harder day for you than, let's say, somebody that has their merch priced more reasonably?
no, not necessarily. Some people will get upset, but majority of the people, they understand. Like, if you're going to a concert, you're going to pay, a certain
Gotcha.
price for a shirt.
So it doesn't really matter. They'll still buy.
No. Yeah, they're still going to buy it. I mean, if they're there, they're going to buy it. But it's funny because you mentioned, like, smaller bands. We recently did, it was at the the fairgrounds.
No
'Cause I know you
Effects?
guys were talking about the fairgrounds. Huh?
Was it No Effects?
No, it was Deathlock and something.
Oh, Death
Death-
Clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
Well, at the end of the night, we made more money at that concert than we did at Beyonce.
That makes
Really?
sense.
Why?
Because people want to support the bands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
they
people
wanted
at the
support and
Beyonce
they
shows,
bought more merchandise.
they
Support
get their own
themselves.
outfits
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
wear those outfits there. They're not really buying Beyonce
True.
shirts.
If you go to Beyonce, if you go see Queen Bee, you're kind of dress up like
Yeah.
her. You're gonna have like
Everyone's
all
got
your,
their Renaissance outfit.
Yeah, you'll have that
Yeah,
on.
and you spent $6,000 for your ticket.
The Death
True.
Clock one makes sense too because I think that's Brendan. I forget the guy's last name. It's the guy from Home Movies that does the cartoon and music hybrid that is Death Clock.
Yeah.
Since they don't tour very often, and since it is a specialized animated sort of thing, it kind of leads me to believe, those people
I'm
are
sure they
and
got
they're
cooler
nerds.
merch,
They're
too.
nerds too, right? So they're gonna dump more money. I would imagine your nerdier bands and bands that don't get out very often. That's where you're gonna rack up. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
you made a ton of money. That's awesome.
Well, Jeannie, what genre of music, in your experience, sells the most merch?
I would probably say like the older, like when I did like the Eagles and stuff like that, they sell a lot of merch. The older crowd.
So
they'll
hopefully you
buy
get
a
some
lot.
money tonight with Depeche Mode, huh?
I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm on the fence on that one.
I would say you're gonna do okay. Depeche Mode. I love Depeche Mode, but not
I don't know any of their 80s stuff.
not an amazingly popular band right now. But I love that band. They're a great band. And I think the guys that will go to Depeche Mode are going to be like me and like our friend Peter from Scotch and Good Conversation. Dirty Jim loves Depeche Mode. I talked to him about Depeche Mode yesterday.
Yeah, if you're older and you have money, you're a middle-aged person.
You got the money for the Depeche Mode shirt, so you might do okay tonight.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Where's the show?
Amway.
Oh,
At the Amway.
wow. Is it just Depeche Mode?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So, Jeannie,
I miss I don't know
The younger,
nothing.
the younger group, they'll flat out tell you they're broke.
they don't have
Yeah,
the
yeah,
money
yeah, yeah.
for
Yeah.
$45 shirt.
Yeah,
What-
you want
Yeah.
guys that are around like 40 to 50. That's your power years,
Yep.
So I double check with Crystal because I never pay attention to what things cost. But
Yeah, you bought me a shirt. We can do you bought me
Okay.
a Willie Nelson shirt.
That
Thank
Willie,
you for that. by
That
the way.
Willie Nelson shirt costs $40,
Holy
and then
moly.
Crystal brought a Aver Brothers shirt. That's $40, which I thought was kind of reasonable. The NoFX show, those shirts were $25.
Nice.
The hoodies were $65
That's not
at
bad.
NoFX. But then they charge you a $10 bag fee if you wanted a bag.
Right.
It's just like a drawstring
That's
bag
their
that costs
way of
89
being
cents.
like the big bands, but also giving
Yeah.
you a little extra.
And so, Jeannie, in your experience, what's the most egregiously priced merch that you've dealt with?
Average is about $40 for a T-shirt, but the highest I've seen is, like I said, about $80 for a T-shirt.
And is
Holy
it at
smokes.
least high quality? Like they're using
Oh, big Gildans.
Yeah, big fat
The
Gildan.
old Gildans, thick.
Yeah, with the neck, the neck on it, it's as wide as a Coke can.
like they're using some soft.
A lot of them are all the way up to your neck where they're choking you now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the $80 shirts, I mean, everybody all night has to be bitching to you about this is a crazy
That's
amount of
nuts.
money, right?
Not necessarily, because like I said, that was like, I think Jay-Z was the highest we've seen, really. And a lot of people would say, oh, what the, I don't know if I can curse.
No, don't.
What the heck is wrong with Jay-Z? So, and I'm like, hey, that's him. But
Yeah.
you know what? They buy it.
He's
They'll
the
buy
greatest
like
of all. He's one of the greatest of all
$2,000.
time. I'm not going to say he's the greatest of all time. He's one of the
He's
greatest
got
of all
enough
time.
money, though.
He does, but also he knows what he's worth, right? And if you're going to call yourself the greatest of all time,
He's charging more than Beyonce.
but I think you got to.
Yeah.
Like that's his brand, right? Is that hey, I'm the best. Your
Also-
boy, I think
I think
Beyonce's
there's-
got to charge a lot too. If Beyonce came in there and did punk rock pricing, we'd all be like, "What the hell's wrong with her?" That
yeah, but
doesn't
the
sound
fact
like the
that
queen
his are
bee.
more than hers are crazy to
Well,
me.
maybe he's,
He is not the draw.
maybe he's a little misogynistic. Maybe it
Yeah.
bothers him if Beyonce charges a little more for her shirts than he does. Maybe he has a problem with that. Some guys have a problem if their wife makes more money than them.
Jeannie,
I don't.
do you ever have a?
I want to know the weirdest thing you've ever sold.
Yeah, that's like weird band merch.
Oh, weird band merch? Well, I would have to say the last thing that we've seen was Carol G. Carol G was, the last end of September?
Yeah.
The Camping Room?
Yeah.
And she was selling thongs.
What?
Phones.
And they were $50 thongs.
Thongs?
thongs.
Thongs.
Oh.
Thongs.
$50 thongs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Did it have her brand on there or like the band
Yes.
name? Okay.
That's not a
It
lot
said
of
Carol
printable.
G on the front.
Carol G on the thong and a $50 thong.
God damn.
That's a
an
little
expensive
weird.
thong.
I've seen like Katy Perry had something when Andrea and I saw Katy Perry. She sold light up cat ears.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So, Jeannie, I know you don't know all the numbers, or do you? Like, I'm curious to what, at the end of the night, what is the band making gross revenue on the merch? I know it's not what profit, because who knows how much they buy it for, but we have a kind of an idea. With huge bulk orders, you can get a really nice quality printed shirt, one
you
color,
get a good deal.
probably down to $5. I mean, prices have gone up and stuff, but we'll pay around $7.50, $8, but we're ordering small
They
quantities.
can probably get it down to $2 or something.
I mean, if
Who
you're
knows?
ordering 10,000 shirts
Right.
or something,
Who
I mean,
knows what you're getting it at.
but there probably is a floor, you're not getting it down a sub $1 or whatever.
No.
Like the print job is cost whatever. But what's the gross revenue at the end of the night for some of these artists?
That, I couldn't answer. I have no idea.
But you could guess based on what they're charging and how much you've sold. I'm sure you've done the math in your head.
Who sold the most?
I'm all night for 3 hours.
Yeah,
we're
you're
selling
selling
$40.
$80,
The average, even at the NoFX shirt, the concert. Crystal spent $110. My other friends spent between $100 and $250.
Sure.
Depending. And so just with our group was $1,000. And I'm looking around the crowd and I'm like, this they sold 100,000 plus of merchandise, easy. Maybe even 180 or 200.
Who sold the most merch that you've worked?
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
yeah.
That was a 3-day concert. At the end of those 3 days, I will just say I came out with $2,200.
Wow. That's 20. Is that in tips and pay or what? Total?
Yeah, that was my check.
Wow.
For commission and any tips that were included in there.
Holy.
$2,200 for 3 days? That's
Yeah.
good money.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But,
at
but they're
all,
not
man.
all Taylor Swift shows,
Right.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, that was Taylor Swift, but just say, okay, then say that concert at the fairgrounds. That one, the T-shirts were about average, $40 a T-shirt, give or take. And there was 10 of us working, and we came out with like $900.
Nice.
Wow.
Dude, I don't think this is bad money at all.
Why do
Is
they,
it hard?
Hold on. Why do they pay off commission? If I was a band, I'd be like, I'm not paying you a commission.
Well, maybe it makes you more eager to work.
Like,
You
yeah,
know?
but it's not like
Some
you're
people
out
like
there.
to control their own destiny, you know?
No, but it's not
Yeah,
like you're
and
out there
we're
drawing people and do like, hey, come on, you want to buy a shirt?
You might. I used
No,
to.
you're
I
just-
mean, hell,
No, when I used to do Salvation Army for donations, I put some effort into it. Not everybody's like as jaded as you are.
No, but I
you
just
know,
went to two concerts.
I put a lot of effort into selling merch when I'm working.
Yeah, you work, right?
Like I gab a lot. Like I can talk.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, so.
Well, hold
it's-
on. Were you upselling the person?
No, I'm trying to tell them, hey, that looks great on you. You should buy that. You know what? You need a bag.
Throw
They
in
don't
a
give us
sticker,
that.
yeah,
look,
of
she's
course.
doing it, you know?
Now, do
But
you
you
have
need a bag to put all that stuff in. So.
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just stand there and be like, I have shirts, come and get them. Like, you put in a little
Do you
effort.
get to wear whatever you want, or do you have to wear like a polo with the
We wear
company name
one
on
of the we wear one of the T-shirts.
Can you like cut it up to show a little bit of genius? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
do you get a free
No.
free
Damn it.
T-shirt? Free T-shirt?
The only
That'll
that's the
upsell.
one bad thing is we wear it and we take it off and put it back.
Oh my god!
You don't even get to keep it.
They don't even give you a free
Well, it's a used
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
I know.
I can't
So
believe.
that's the one thing.
I can't believe they don't even give you a free T-shirt, and then you got to take it
Nope.
off and fold it and put it back.
Well, they're paying her $2,200 for 3 days of work.
Well, she's been busting her ass.
Yeah, she's
I mean,
working,
this is
man.
like
You're lucky
overpaying.
to have her to sell your
She's been
stupid
unloading
merch.
these semi trucks with these hoodies
Yeah.
and
I
boxes.
mean, at the end of the day, we're there for 13, 14 hours.
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
long
on your
day.
feet the whole time.
I don't know. I think
Unloading, counting. That's a lot of work.
I think I can get a lazy POS in there for $12 an hour. And how much more are you selling compared to them?
Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do that. How much?
There we
How much
go.
does it actually matter?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
He's gonna do it.
But I understand that this is the business and it's commission based for a reason. So they must.
How about
it
just
must-
from the vibe standpoint? You know, like you always say you're a big picture guy. You don't want your merch people giving off a negative, we don't want to be here vibe. You want them to be incentivized in a way to sell because the package is the concert, and if they're all in on selling it and they're all part of the vibe, it makes you more money if the day's great.
The vibe is the manager's problem. I hire a manager to make sure that everybody's giving off the vibe that the band wants. I'm just curious. Like I didn't know that all
didn't
that
either.
was based on commission, because it does seem like people are just lining up at the merch. Like they either want to buy merch or not. I didn't know like there was a lot of upselling going on.
Oh, yeah.
And like the
I have
the people
noticed-
selling it are. They're incentivized obviously to sell you more.
Also, the lines are going to be longer, so I would imagine. Okay, so like if Sam and I go to like a little punk rock show, like she said, you go up there, the guy's just standing
Half
there.
the time, the bands sell their own damn merch.
Right. Like, he's just a friend of the band or something. He's not trying to upsell you or anything. He's got a tough job. He's one guy with, 500 shirts or something. But these other guys, I have noticed that at festivals and stuff, they are working harder because that line is also immense, and they got to turn it and burn it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got to keep it moving. So they are
you
a
need
little
to
more.
incentivize them
Because then
to,
some people will leave the line
Yeah.
if you're not going fast
You want
enough.
them to work
yeah.
and keep, oh, yeah, let's sell and get you through. I think I understand it.
So, Jeannie, if you were just going to guess, like Depeche Mode tonight or whatever is going to sell 80,000 in merch or with 50,000, like what would you even guess the number would be?
I honestly don't know because I don't know how much the prices are yet.
Okay, yeah, so you don't know.
I
Let's just
know
say.
I've been told they have a lot of products today.
I mean, what do you think Taylor Swift sold in
man.
millions?
Dude, that's
Yes.
probably
Oh, excuse me. Taylor Swift sold, I think it was like $2 or $3 million.
Dude, people were standing in line
no.
in the morning to get their merch.
It's
Yeah,
just, it's
they
just
had to
hard
open the
to-
line early before the
For
show
the pre-sale.
to get people through.
Yeah, it's just hard to even like how much, like if someone's just standing in a huge lines and they're just selling continuing merch, like how much can you make
Millions,
after
yeah.
a while?
Yeah.
And with an average band, I wonder what the average band does. Like, are we talking each show? They're doing.
It would depend on the tier of the
50,000?
band.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
what do you
I
think
think
Depeche
all over
Mode
the place.
will make?
I don't know.
in
Maybe
merch?
I think it's feasible to say that Depeche Mode would make $25,000 on merch, or is that low?
I think that's kind of low.
But they're not a barn-burning mega band, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah,
I
that's
can't.
what I said. I don't know how well they're going to do. I do know that I think it's sold out because they already said that the garage is already sold out. There's no parking left.
Oh, that's great for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just
These old people are jumping on it.
well, just a a full Amway arena, and if people, let's say, I mean, there's usually, is there any part? Okay, Jeannie, let me ask you this: for the person that wants, because we all deal with merch lines.
Best practices.
If you want to not deal with the line, do you go when the band is performing?
Yes.
Okay. And can you like sneak in at the end? Like how
when do
should
you guys-
someone plan? Because you want to see the band, so like maybe the last song you run out and get your merch right before you leave.
Yeah, when do you guys close up?
We are there until everyone is out of the Amway. So say the person gets off the stage at 11, I'm probably going to be there till close to 1 o'clock.
Wait, you stand for 2 more hours? So,
Yeah,
I mean, so
you-
like,
Yeah, because we
When
have to
people-
count all the merch and box it up and everything else.
well,
for the
how
driver.
much? I guess what I would say is how much longer do you sell for? Like, if they go off at midnight, what do you sell for?
We usually go until the line is like pretty much cut down. That we tell them we cut it off at a certain
Oh,
time.
okay, gotcha.
But
Yeah.
Again, they're incentivized to sell as much as they can
Yeah,
because you're
keep it
getting
going.
commission.
Turn and burn. Turn
Yeah,
and burn.
but at that time of the day, I'm ready to go home.
yeah.
I'm done.
You want money or
But-
do you want home? That's a
both.
commission.
She needs the money for the home.
But I mean, I would also tell somebody don't wait to the end because depending on what it is, like for Luke Bryan, they had hoodies. I told him if you want it, buy it now because if you come back, it ain't going to be here, and because we'll sell them out.
Do they like? Is there some sort of psychology with like under giving you enough inventory so you do sell out, so therefore it's more sought after because people are like, oh, it's sold out? Because you would think that
like you're checking off a box.
you would think you'd have a semi truck of merch, so you never sold out.
Just
You know,
keep it moving. Yeah.
They do have stuff on the truck that they leave there, but a lot of that depends on too how much more merch they need for the tour, how many more stops are left on the tour. So I think they kind of pre-plan how much they think they're going to need, and then they'll give us a little extra if we need it. But
Yeah, it's like booze on a cruise ship. It's like you get into port, you check and see what you got, you keep it moving, and then if you need more, you bring it in later. Have you ever seen anybody try to steal from the merch table?
Oh yeah, we've caught a couple people. Yeah, we caught one person reaching over the table trying to grab a box, and we had to run over there and grab it from him. Or people will try to look at a shirt when like they'll try to just run out of the line with it.
Oh, that's what I would do. I would say like, hey, can I see that Luke Bryan shirt? And you hand it to me, and I would take
snatch
advantage
it.
of your. You'd be so nice to me, and I would.
I mean, what do you do?
I stuff it down my pants because nobody wants to reach in my pants, and I run.
I
as
mean,
fast
I'll
as
try to stop them, but I'm also not going to chase you.
I would
over-
stuff it down my pants. I run to the
Yeah,
men's
yeah.
room, and then immediately start urinating on the shirt.
Are you guys in charge of lost merchandise? Like at the end of the time,
Yeah.
does that come out of your commission?
Lost merchandise?
Yeah, like if
Stolen.
If
Like
stolen,
if I grab
yeah.
a shirt and run to the bathroom
No.
to pee on it, are you
No.
going to? Is that going to come out of your paycheck?
No.
All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Is this a super sought after? Because now you're talking with like $2,200 for 3
You blew
days.
Tom's
of,
mind. For a minute, he stared off. He couldn't even.
Well-
He's staring off into space.
well, if you have and you're working at a concert, which I feel like is people would like to work. If they are at all
it's an exciting environment.
Yeah. You're like working within a concert.
Better
so
than
it's
a
like,
funeral home.
So if you can make good money in a sought after environment,
Yeah.
it would seem to me that people are like really
want
want
it.
to do this job.
You
so
get
they're-
food?
What was that?
Do you get food? Do they take care of you and get you like an elephant ear and a
Oh,
Coke?
no. Mm-mm. No,
No
you bring your
food?
own food.
Yeah.
See, they give you a slice of pizza.
Hey,
Come
you're
on.
paying for commission.
Some of
They're
it-
making
you guys,
$2,200.
This is why. This
Why are
is
you
spoken
going-
like a true business owner. This guy. This
Well,
is the reason people hate
cheap
business
ass.
owners. I know.
No, some of the venues will give you free stuff. Like
Yeah, some
Raymond
fries.
James, sometimes they'll give you like, some free food because they're just going to throw it out at the end of the night. So
Yeah,
sometimes they'll give
exactly.
it
You're
to
gonna
you.
throw out all those like 2-foot-long corn dogs. So you might as well give them to your staff and make them happy.
What do you want? Free everything?
Yeah,
You want
I do
to
want
go
free
with that?
everything.
That's not how the world works.
Golly.
This guy, oh my god.
So, Jeannie,
I want my student debt gone too.
are there a lot of people like waiting to get your job? Like, if you didn't show up one day to work, like, because I imagine it's super sought after, right?
It is, but to be honest with you, too, they're very picky about who they bring in. Because of the fact that people think that, I'm gonna go sell merchandise and I get to watch free concerts. It doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't
that's where
work like
Tom
that.
comes in. We need workers. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
just
yeah.
let
Stand
anybody
down
do
there and
this.
watch
We need
concerts.
work. I'm serious.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the
Yeah.
weed industry.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah, you
they're
gotta
like,
weed 'em out.
I'm gonna go there and just be high all
Nope.
day. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get to pick which concerts you work, or do you get like assigned?
They'll act like if there's something that I want to see really bad, like I'll tell them ahead of time, but they'll call me and they'll say, hey, do you want to work X, Y, and Z? And I'll look at my schedule and say, yeah, I can do that or I can't do it.
What's
So-
the worst concert you have ever
Oh,
worked?
yeah. Worst
Both-
fans.
Yeah, worst fans and worst band.
I don't know. I want, it was, I'm trying to figure out how I can word this correctly.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Put on your racist hat. No, I'm joking.
We know.
Yeah.
it was a Spanish, like, Mexican concert. And
I think that's what they're called.
it was the worst I've ever worked because it was
Bad
just
Bunny.
nobody bought anything. We stood there, and then the merchandise. I guess they had some local place do the T-shirts, put the print on them.
No, that
and
sounds
the
like
print
something
was
Tom
screwed up.
did. No, we can get a better deal right here.
yeah.
We got the deal.
This
the
is-
print
hold on,
was
this
screwed
doesn't
up,
sound like a Mexican concert to me.
Sounds like a Tom and
Yeah.
Dad at OLE.
Yeah, that one was a mess. Let's just say I probably made $150 on that one. I was there for
Oh.
13 hours.
Oh
God.
my God!
So yeah,
the great
there's some
Mexican
hits
band.
and there's some misses.
And who are the worst fans?
The worst fans.
Like just rude to you or anything?
Has anybody screamed?
No, like are they like the most rude customers?
Oh,
I guess.
I mean, I think the worst fans I had was Bad Bunny.
Oh, I said Bad Bunny.
Yeah, you did. You're on the board.
All right.
I like
Yeah.
Bad Bunny too. I had like to me and Mazio shake our butts to Bad Bunny.
I have
Yeah,
no idea
there
what
was
that is.
a lot of yelling at that concert.
We know.
A lot of yelling at like you're yelling at you.
On my end.
Oh, you were
Oh.
yelling. Okay, all right. I'm seeing a
Yeah.
pattern here.
I'm curious, how many people pay in cash? No one, right?
You can't pay cash.
I don't
Oh,
think they let
okay.
you. Yeah, that's more punk rock shows.
I was gonna say that's not a thing anymore because I can still pay
No,
cash, but most of
nobody
my
pays
shows are.
cash anymore.
Yeah, most punk rock shows you can pay.
Yeah.
Like your shows, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
but not most. Like the last.
Interesting.
We went to a big show. What was the last one? I think it was John Mayer. The last one that Andrea and I went to when we went up there. I had
Card
cash out,
only?
and they were like card only, and we just went with the card. But I'd gotten out cash for no reason.
Yeah, because
And then what do you do with it? Once you take out cash, I don't even know what to do with it. Like take it back to
Well,
the bank and have them
Go
put it
buy
back
your
in?
weed.
I guess. yeah.
Raymond James has reverse cash machines.
What does that mean?
So you can put your cash in the machine and it gives you like a gift
Oh
card.
yeah, like a temporary debit card.
That's
I have
exactly what
seen
I
those.
needed. That's
I have
exactly
seen
what I
those,
needed.
yeah.
That's a dumb old man machine.
Yeah.
My pop-up said this was coming.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
get my MREs.
Yeah, get it all ready to go.
Well, Jeannie, is this your full-time job, like, or do you do this part-time?
I do this part-time. I'm actually at my full-time job now. I'm sitting in my office.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to
No, you're fine.
keep you from what
So,
you were doing.
Over the course of a year, Jeannie, what do you say you make doing this job part-time?
I think last year, I brought in maybe 13 grand.
All right. Nice little...
Nice little
Side
nest egg
supplemental,
for a
yeah.
side
money.
hustle. Plus, you got to look at the benefits of it. Sounds like you're kind of built to do it. Like you have the right demeanor, and you sound sweet, and like you sound like a worker. Also, you get to see all those different shows that you want to see. So that's a quality
We
of
don't
life
really-
builder.
You don't really get to see the show,
But you get to
though.
hear them. Like if you're
Yeah.
like me, like a musician, like
can.
imagine if I got to go to every show. If my job, like because I'm not, I didn't make it, right? But
Yeah.
if my job was to be able to go to all the great venues in Orlando, work the merch tables, and just see great concerts, not a bad life.
Yeah.
You could make an argument as a loner, single dad. You could ride it out pretty good. You get to see all the bands you'd like to see, and all you get to do make your own schedule. Kind of cool.
Yeah. But, hustle every single hour you're there.
Chirping.
Hard-ass work.
I like chirping. I'm chirping
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
I'm trying to upsell them to the sweatshirt. Well, Jeannie, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it. Thanks for being on Weird Job.
Oh, no, thank you for having me.
Oh, do you want to tell us your other job or give us a hint?
Oh, I actually work for the state, and I investigate insurance agents.
Oh,
Nice to
get
hear.
'em.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
What
a contrast.
Do you videotape the guy in the neck brace water skiing?
I
I love that.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. I like it when they put it back on when they go to the truck while they're smoking a cigarette.
Oh.
All right, Jeannie, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. She gave me the thank you.
She did.
It's so interesting to me that they get paid off commission.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Me neither.
It
How
does-
many shows have
That
you been to?
changes a lot of things for me.
How many shows have I been to? The bigger shows? Like
I mean,
all
I don't
of them.
go to a ton at like arenas and stuff, but
I have in recent time. I used to go to more smaller shows, but as you get older, you want to check off some of these like bigger artists, I never knew that. Never, ever knew that.
I wonder if the industry looks at it this way, and the bands are like, "All right, well, it's better marketing because getting the shirts out is good marketing for them, right?
Sure.
If they're a small business. I mean, we look at it the same way. We're like, let's get as many shirts as possible
Yeah,
out there,
it's
right?
free advertising, especially if you make it quality and make it something people connect with, right?
So I wonder if they're like, all right, if we pay commission, then all these people that are selling our merch are super incentivized to push it out and be polite
course.
and be like.
it also explains why a lot of the prices have gone up too.
And-
because they don't have to pay them a pay rate, right? They're like, oh, just commission.
And then we'll just.
So they won't take a cut because they've
No.
raised the prices on the merch.
Right.
And then they'll. So then
And
it's
people are still paying it. She
Yep.
said it.
and it's
Of
a
course.
win-win scenario for the band because your merch is more expensive, but you're getting more out because I imagine if you didn't pay these people commission and say you just paid them $15 an hour, right?
Sure.
Then you're gonna sell 35% less merch.
I think it's what keeps the line moving like it does. Is
Even-
the commission aspect. Yes.
even if the
that
price
what
of
you're
the
saying?
merch
They're
is
just turning and
cheaper.
burning.
Like
Yeah.
they must have figured out like if they were like no commission, but our t-shirts are $30 instead of $40, it's still not
Doesn't
going to
work
make
like
a
that,
difference. So,
right.
like we're still going to make more and get out more.
More. Yeah.
Because having
That's
more
the key.
shirts,
Is just getting more. It's the. I think it's as simple as you incentivize the line to move the way it needs to move because you need to move. You need
Yeah.
it moving and getting shirts going.
Because if the people selling the merch, if they were just hourly employees, we've all seen that
Yeah.
before. Then it's
They're
slow.
going to
The
poop.
line's longer.
They're in there
yeah,
on their phone trying to take a
Yeah,
poop.
they're like, what do I care? I get paid the same no matter
Right,
what.
of course.
Yeah.
So
I think it is.
it
It worked for my dad. Like my dad's like one of the only people I ever knew that loved having a commission-based job, and he would tell me that because he liked working. So he'd be like, "Yeah, I like being able to." It's like, yeah, and then if I want to work really hard, he gives me something to shoot for. I'm in control of. I think he felt more in control, which kind of fits my Kind of fits my MO.
It's not meant for everybody
No,
though. Like
not.
because
It can be hard.
some people then
Especially if you don't have your right lane and
Yeah.
you're learning or just starting out and they put you on some stupid commission-based thing and you don't know what you're doing and you're out there floundering. Like my dad was like an old school sales guy. He knew what he was doing, right? So as soon as this was all commission-based, I mean, it was off to the races for him. He'd make as much money as he wanted.
Yeah, and some humans are just inherently lazy, and even though it's like, what are you doing standing here?
It's bad at life.
You're
It's
like-
not lazy. It's
No,
bad
yeah,
at
it's
life.
bad at
It's
life.
just, it's not.
Well, laziness is a part of bad at life.
It is, but I
It's
don't.
a-
I don't like. These are people that are
It's a-
inherently like. I don't label them lazy, but they are bad at life. They're just kind of standing around, bewildered, don't even know what they're doing, don't know what they're supposed to be counting the shirts or check. Like this lady's ready. Jeannie was like, I count the
Yeah.
shirt. She knew what she was doing. Plus, she's a little bit different too, and that's why I wanted to ask about her job, because she already has like a big time, like real desk job,
full-time
right?
job, yeah.
So this is probably, and she didn't say this, but I'm just gonna guess. Listening to her, this is a extremely easy task for her to do. It's just time. And
Yeah.
she figured out how to hack the system. She's like, this is just time. She sounds like one of those ladies that I'll bring a book with me if things are slow.
If it's slow, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just hammer it out because I'm tough and this is easy for me.
But there's probably no downtime
No.
because even when they're playing and there isn't as much of a line, like you still have some stragglers and stuff.
rocketing, yeah.
But then you're just preparing to get a pack of all the
Yeah,
stuff.
set
You're,
up.
you're starting to break down. Like so, this is a 10-hour day hustle job, but you get paid well for it.
Yeah,
You know, like
$2,200 is nothing to sneeze at.
You know, it's 3 days.
What do you
off.
bring for lunch though? Because you can't like heat something up. You
No.
got to eat
I
something
eat
quick.
there. I eat there.
Sandwich.
I just set aside a $20 bill and I just eat there.
Yeah, but you're just gonna leave your stand to go wait in the food line?
They got to
Yeah,
give you a
yeah.
break, right? Or maybe
I
have
would assume they have
hospitality
to.
bring
Yeah.
something to you.
Yeah, the Florida, the labor laws, you have to have a break every
Yeah.
certain amount of hours. Although they just have to offer it to you, you don't have to take it. So,
Right,
and if
right.
I'm working on commission, I'm eating my sandwich in 5
Oh,
seconds
yeah,
and going
dude.
back to work. So,
I'm burning shirts all day long.
And
I might have a pocket of granola.
you know what I
That's
should
what I'm
ask?
saying, like a granola bar.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not. It's not individual commission. It's total commission, right? Like they're not tracking individual sales, are they?
They should be.
Like
If I'm hustling harder than the bitch next
Oh,
to
That's
me,
what
I
I'm
want
saying.
the-
That's the
I
best
should've
question
asked
we
it.
didn't ask
I
her.
know,
Damn,
yeah.
call her back. That's a good question. No, it sounded like it was overall.
Because if it's overall,
It sounded like it was overall.
then that's a problem because there's
Could
there's-
be a problem if you trust your team. It's not.
Yeah, but there's always one lazy
I know.
person.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
know.
she did also say. They're very particular
Right.
with who they
That's
hire.
what's
so
making
if
me
you're
think
not
it's
hustling
overall.
for the team, then yeah, they probably cut you.
It's got to be individual, like based on.
That's a lot harder for the company, though, isn't it? Or maybe your lot. Like you have 2 boxes.
Well, if you're ringing it up, like wherever you're ringing it up, that maybe
it might be a
code or
POS
something.
deal where
Yeah.
you log in with your thing and then you get to going.
Or and so because other than that, like that seemed like that would create a bunch of problems because
Huh.
there's
We might
gonna
have
be
to do a 2-parter on this.
and you
I
want
can follow up with some questions in an email.
Yeah. Follow up just because out of curiosity, I would like to know that.
because then you start breaking down to help the process of leaving, and then the customers are coming up, and one person's jumping above like to try to get their commission, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of like.
Which is better?
You kind of want the team because you're like, a lot of restaurants have gone to the individual waiter or waitress doesn't make, they split the team.
Yeah, they split
overall
it. Yeah.
Because it helps everybody work for the same goal instead of everybody being selfishly.
She did say, remember, she was talking about Taylor Swift,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, we made the most money that we've made.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just using that as a context clue for maybe it is like, because I would have it set up
And it
for
makes sense
team.
because she said when we asked about the tips, she said the total check. So they must add all the tips together and like
and then
split
split
it.
it between everybody. Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
if you got a good team, though, you
Yeah.
could literally crush.
Yeah.
If you got like a solid team, and then you're also, though, when somebody gets weak, Tom's right, you got to rat them out and get somebody else in there.
Yeah, they probably do. They
Yeah.
do
I bet
police
they rat each
themselves.
other out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the someone who's not carrying their weight.
Yeah,
They
Jerry
get them
was
out.
pooped 3 times today. Like,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the hell out of here.
Yeah. You probably don't want any smokers or anything. Like hell no. You don't want someone
No.
smoking on their split. Like if they,
Oh, thumbing through the Gildan T-shirts with their
Yeah.
smoky hands? No, thank you.
interesting.
That is crazy.
Man.
What's the most you guys have ever spent at a concert?
Well,
Man, I'm a cheapo. I will talk myself out of like a shirt I really want and then be real mad later.
Yeah. I
For a
did.
while, I would not spend $40 on a T-shirt, but now I kind of have to.
I did bad at not a concert, but at Atlanta Braves factory store at Truist in the Battery, connected to the stadium. Maybe a few beers. $400.
Whoa.
Woo!
On,
Everybody. Maisie got a shirt. Andrea got a jersey.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
got jersey. Well, 3
Jerseys.
jerseys. That's like $270 right there. Even a baby jersey's like $90.
Yeah. That I mean now
Crazy
it's
expensive.
how all these bands are making their money. You know,
It
like
is.
it's the live the concerts, the merch, all that. I wonder if the band has some back end deal with the concessions where they have a deal with the arena or whatever the hell.
What's the
freaking,
biggest band we know?
What do you mean, like no personally?
Yeah, that could answer some of these questions because we have just spider webbed into like 1,000 other questions about like venues and stuff.
I don't know any bands that could talk to us that
Cashed
do
out?
arenas.
Cashed out, maybe.
Not
yeah.
arenas, but I mean,
Getting there.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
they're doing pretty good.
But then I know like festivals, that's kind of like there's so many bands that you just get paid your price or whatever. But like when you go to Amway Arena, there's got to be a concessions deal made
Yeah.
from the promoter or manager with the arena, right? Like, and then
So many contracts.
and then
Gives me anxiety.
and then I know the arena takes a portion of the merch too.
They do.
Like even when we did our show at Hard Rock, like Hard Rock Live.
We had to negotiate with them on that.
We had to pay them a
So did
portion
Dr.
of-
Phillips Center. I don't mind telling everybody. Dr. Phillips Center wanted to take a cut of our merch when we did.
But that's standard practice.
Yeah, it's
we didn't
it's just-
realize.
Yeah, we didn't realize it. So as new guys that were coming and doing we were doing that. What was it? The land cruise out at Dr. Phillips Center, and it was awesome. But they're like, yeah, and then we'll just fill this out so we get our percentage of your merch, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
So it makes sense that on the other side, then the bands are like, well, we get a percentage of the concessions because you guys are making an insane amount
But
on
I don't
food
know
and
if that
drink.
happens. But it's a great question.
I'm sure that because how much money does like a Taylor Swift bring the Camping World or whatever and
In one night?
or who do we see
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses like they're
That was a factory, dude.
You
That's
know.
the craziest merch. I'm sure Taylor's is big or bigger. But I'd never seen anything like that. When we were sitting up in Camping World and we looked down in the center section, Sam, like they had the mixing console for front of house, and then the
Yeah.
area where VIP you can stand behind there if you want to mix and do lights. To the left was just a tent of merch inside the stadium. It was like go into the mega tent and buy your stuff.
yeah.
It was crazy.
And I'm sure because just in beer and food they're making an insane amount. And
I have
alcohol
no idea.
sales is
Alcohol's your $14 beers.
and the profit margin in that is like what that 32 cents of Bud Light you're selling for $14.
Yeah,
like that's a lot of profit. You know what I'm saying? And
it is.
so I wonder if the beer and concessions get paid any off of
Off of merch?
no
Our merch gets paid off of beer and
We
concessions?
could ask old Kenny Samsel about this. He's worked some events at arenas.
Kenny might know.
Well, I was saying
Our guest might know a little bit. He works
Yeah,
with
That's true.
big sporting events inside big stadiums. He might have some insight.
Yeah, we need to figure out how all the business is done.
Yeah, it is fascinating how it happens, But anyway, we got to take a break.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right. What up, buddy? What's up, guys? How are you, man? Oh, good. Where's this go?
That's Wednesday 1 and 2.
She was great.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna need water? Water's always good. All right. Good to see you, man. How you been? Oh, come over this way. Very good to see you.
Oh, I like your
Man.
shirt.
Yeah, I love your shirt. Is that chicken McNuggets?
It is. It's the Halloween.
I love that. I follow an artist on Instagram. I believe his name is Dano Brown, and he is obsessed with chicken McNuggets and old McDonald's iconography. And he makes the chicken McNuggets like he has the mold, I believe, of the original ones you could collect.
Really?
And he finds ones that like at flea markets and stuff of the original ones, and then he makes them into different characters again. So he'll make them like into newer things now.
I need to follow that account.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Here, let me see if I can find it.
My wife really loves that kind of stuff too, and the old Halloween buckets.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm glad to see that. Yeah, Dano Brown Toys, Dano Bano Toys.
Dano Bano.
Let's see if I can find his nugget. I follow weird shit. I'm a weirdo.
That's all right,
Where's his nuggets? He does weird action figures. He makes homemade action figures. There's a McDonald's pencil he collected from original. You see, he collects all this old McDonald's stuff.
Grimace and Birdie.
Let me see if I can find his. Oh, I want to get this shirt. It says "Party till you die, nothing matters," but it's Chuck E. Cheese. I don't see his nugs. Oh, here's one. Here's one he made. So this one is a weed nug named Buddy. So,
Nice.
yeah, he makes all the toys. He's great. He made a Mac and Me. I don't think this was meant to be disrespectful, but he made the character from Mac and Me, Tom. He made an action figure of the kid in the wheelchair that goes off the cliff.
What about Wheels from BK Kids Club?
He's probably got one of those on there. Oh, he has a tattoo of the nug, of the Hamburglar
that's
nug.
good,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's all in, man. That's why when I saw your shirt, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. I think these are some of the original Halloween costume ones, the Ghost and the Witch and Frankenstein.
Where do you want to put this, Tom?
Let's put
Make
this
sure you
for
can hear
Wednesday,
yourself,
Yeah.
sir.
Wednesday 4.
So 17 minutes.
Okay.
All right. We can go a little.
Check. Oh yeah, sound good.
All right. Awesome. Let me make sure your camera looks good. Let me straighten that. You know, I like the trophy on that side better. It looks better in the position with our guest camera. It gives it depth, you know. Mr. Van, would you like to start?
Sure.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got the young professor here. How you doing, man?
buddy.
Good, guys. What's going on today?
It's very good to see you, man. What's been going on in Young Professor and Savannah Banana Land?
Oh, man. So last week, we did our giant tour announcement for 2024 and have essentially blown up the internet with all the news that comes out of it. So it's a great time to be involved with the Savannah Bananas.
Hell yeah, man.
So, is there a season? Tell me about what. Did the season just end? How does that work?
So our 2023 season ended just about a month ago. We
Okay.
actually, our last game was in Cooperstown.
Yep.
They put an exhibit into the Baseball Hall of Fame about us and about banana ball and the growth of our game and what we are doing in baseball. And less than a month later, we did this giant like NFL style draft event where we drafted the cities of where we're going to be. I mean, it's something that our team and our leadership in the front office has been putting together for this entire year and,
I
and
watched
possibly
some
longer.
of this. This was cool, man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that you guys. They were picking the places they wanted to go.
Okay. And because you guys want to play in MLB ballparks.
That's a reality now. So
Okay.
6 major league ballparks is where we are going next year. In addition to the rest will be minor league stadiums, but everything is AAA or and LSU, which is our one collegiate stadium.
That's
we're going
cool,
to.
though.
Wow, how
A
big
lot
is
of
that
history
stadium?
there.
I'm not sure. I know it's pretty big. I know it's one of the biggest. I think
it's
it's the
humongous.
biggest in college baseball, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they said on our broadcast. But it's exciting.
I'm surprised more of the colleges haven't jumped on it because, like, college baseball vibe, and I know that because of Andrea's parent or grandparents rather were
Yeah.
really big into like Stetson baseball and stuff like that growing up, and like the vibe of college baseball is super duper fun. So it's good to see that. It's good to see that at least one college stadium got them because college baseball is huge.
So, young professor, I read an article about the Savannah Bananas and and just obviously we've had you in before talk about how successful and the social media for Savannah Bananas have blown up crazy. What's your followers at now?
Oh gosh, I know we have a plaque that we got that was already way outdated after we did it, but across all platforms it was like 13 or 14 million.
Yeah, man.
And I'll drop the wildest statistic, and our owner Jesse Cole put this out last night. But after that draft event, we had that live on Thursday night. Within 48 hours of us making the ticket lottery system, because we have to have a lottery system. Like people that get in, they just need to be chosen at random.
Okay, but explain that because there's so many people on the waiting list to see a Savannah Banana
So
show.
it's almost we had a waiting list last year, and all those people are just, I think, in getting emails now. But now for tickets for this, it's a new lottery system. And so 1.4 million people in 48 hours jumped on to the lottery system in 2 days.
That's insane.
It's a wild
just for the
number.
chance to buy a ticket.
Right, for the chance to buy a ticket.
That's
And for
fantastic,
Fenway
dude.
Park, that's obviously like the crown jewel of where we
Yeah.
want to go. Our owner, that's been his dream forever. That's
Yeah.
he's been talking about it openly. And that place seats about 39,000, and over 57,000 people have put in the lottery just for that stadium alone. So it's
dude.
wild.
So now this brings me to another question, and I'm sure.
Oh, did
there's-
we talk about all the stadiums? Have you released all of them yet?
They're all out
So
there.
they're
Yeah,
all out
that
there.
draft event, we put everything
Yeah,
out there.
they're all
so,
out
yeah.
there. So if people want their tickets and they want to go and try to, I mean, is that done or?
So yeah, the lottery will be open. At least getting into the lottery system is open until I think December 1st or
Okay.
December 4th, early December. So if
Gotcha,
you're not on
gotcha.
that, if you're not one of those 1.4 million people, SavannahBananas.com/tickets is where you want to go to
There you
get in
go.
on that lottery system.
So I'm sure, and this goes more into the marketing of Savannah Bananas, but it's because the base business is like, well, if there's such a huge demand, I mean, we have bigger stadiums. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be playing in a football stadium
Yeah.
if you could sell it out, because if
I
you
mean,
could sell that many tickets,
anywhere,
you
right?
could rent the stadium out, and now we're talking about gigantic, but it's just about controlling the growth and controlling the demand.
Well, also
so
making
that-
a legitimately
after.
good baseball experience, right?
Well, that's the biggest thing. I mean, is our whole thing is fun. And I know a lot of events say, "Oh, we're fun." Like we are fun. Like every single night when people leave, I hear it from multiple people. This is the most fun I've ever had, and not just at baseball, at anything ever. I've had 90-year-old women come up to me and say, "I'm 90, and this is the most fun I have ever had at anything I've ever been to." Which, when you think about that from a perspective standpoint, it's wild. So we want to make sure that we continue to deliver that kind of experience, and up until now, our experience has been doing it at smaller ballparks, and even as large. The biggest that we've done is Indianapolis, which seats 15,000. And so this is going to be a giant leap for us. But we're confident that we can do it, and we know that we can provide it.
I'm confident you can do it because of the number of people that ask me for free banana tickets.
Yeah.
We know, like, seriously,
You and me both.
Like, I'm sure, like, and you were so kind. One time you even offered for me to go out there. I really appreciate that again, man, because I couldn't make it because of something that happened. But like, it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't seem like these bigger. Like when you say to me, "We're going to play these bigger parks," I'm like, "Yeah, of course you are." Like I know
the demand is
like,
there.
I'm with you. I'm like, well, why not just let's like take over Truist and throw like everybody in there.
Well, the big thing is, I mean, it's the way that that Major League Baseball stadiums and franchises kind of run their businesses is very different than the way that we run ours.
Absolutely,
And so,
yeah.
I mean, a lot of it. I mean, I don't think I'm at liberty to speak on the business. I don't handle the business side.
Yeah,
But I know
right.
our business side looks entirely different than what anyone else is doing. Like, for instance, our tickets are starting at $35, and I think the highest that they'll go is $55 or $60. Period.
Deliberately,
Period.
right.
Like
Yeah,
unless I mean, there's a VIB option where people get to come in early and do that, and that's more. But beyond that, like all of those, the 30,000 tickets, like you're not paying more than $60 per ticket. Whereas you were just talking before, I heard about going to an Atlanta Braves game. I don't know if tickets even start less than $60.
Oh no, I don't think they do. No,
So-
I don't think you can
Insane,
even
yeah.
touch it. Like, and I don't even want to tell you what we spent on our seats, and we got a good deal, but it was like we had to get in there so early. It was such a pain in the rump, and they weren't even like. I'm not gonna say they were bad because there's not a bad seat in that stadium, but they weren't like. I wasn't sitting like front row of anything. I wasn't
Right.
getting any special experiences or anything like that. That is crazy. That is super duper interesting to me that you guys like are now doing this. I mean, like I would say, how many different stops do you have this year?
This year we had 33 cities in 21 states, which was pretty wild.
And the new season is going to be.
I think it's 30 cities. It's about 19 or
same.
20 states. It's longer, so we're starting like the second weekend in February, and we're going all the way to mid-October. We end with a cruise in October, and that's going to be opening up soon too. So Banana Land at Sea is how we finish it in Miami.
Yes.
I love how weird you guys
Yeah.
are.
Oh yeah, we're very weird.
I love it.
Miami, the MLB stadium there for the Marlins, is our last game. It's on Saturday, like the 12th, and then on the 14th we set sail out of Miami for 4 days to the Bahamas.
So let's
That's
talk about the
badass,
cruise.
dude.
We're doing a Tom and Dan cruise next year.
We're not going to be hitting baseballs into the sea like you guys are, though.
So
You would, right? You guys got to hit baseballs off the back of the boat.
We have to incorporate
Is
what
that
we
not
do.
allowed though? Because didn't
it's
they
a
stop?
whole team. I mean,
Didn't they
okay.
stop doing the skeet because the environmentalist? I bet they're not going to let them.
Hold your-
Now let them blast the balls off. You got to start kicking the
We'll create
home runs.
biodegradable ones within the
They
next
stop
year or
doing the
something.
skeet because it's killing all the whales.
No, just make them out of fish food. Who cares? Like, the actual clay pigeons.
yeah.
You can make them so they just disintegrate
That's a
into
great idea. Fish food
I
clays.
think, yeah. I think the problem is the.
Oh, we could have the players hit real fish out over the ocean.
I think the bigger problem is the bird shot. You're shooting into the ocean.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's more about the weapons.
Little
and,
metal BBs
Everywhere.
So, a logistics question I wanted to ask you about is in the article I read was talking about just the logistics into putting on one of these shows is way grander than, let's say, like to give an example, the Harlem Globetrotters has like a team of 30.
Right.
And then you guys have 110.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And that's this year. It was like 110, 120 is about what we travel with
Yeah.
because it's both teams. It's the Bananas, the Party Animals.
Yeah.
It's all of our cast. It's all of our front office staff. Even a lot of like the merch people and stuff are still our people because we have a certain quality of service and a certain experience we want to provide. So we need all of our people to do that. And next year, I saw on Jesse's post, our owner, Jesse Cole, I mean, we're looking at 200. I mean, I was brought on full-time. My official starting date is next week, so I'm no longer a teacher.
Yeah,
I'm full-time
dude.
with
Awesome.
this. But I'm
Hell
going to be the
yeah.
cast director. So we're we're gonna need a bigger boat. I mean, no
Yeah,
pun
yeah.
intended. We just do. I mean, the Party Animals are getting their own headlining tour as part of this Banana Ball tour next year. They have a headlining game in Las Vegas without the Bananas. All of these are going to sell out. So,
That's
their
great.
brand is taking
The
off.
Villains got their own
Yes.
game.
Well,
So
they
who are they
won
gonna
this
play?
year, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
no, I know. They're
of all the games, it went down to the very last game. The last 9 games were elimination games for the Party Animals because the Bananas ran past them in the summer, just destroyed them in California. And then when August hit, all of a sudden the Bananas kind of started slumping, and the Party
just like the
Animals,
Braves,
they
typical
won
slide.
9 in a row and won the whole season, essentially. Not that we had a championship because
Yeah.
that's not what this is right
Yeah,
now.
it's not what it's about.
But they won the
Could
whole
be.
season. They beat the Bananas.
Are you guys sort of like...
Man, if I was the owner, I'd be like, idiots.
No, but it's like real. It's real baseball,
blew
but
it.
with a lot of real other elements. I mean, I kind of feel like you guys are really onto something. Like it's got that edge of like WWF way back in the day,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
where you were blending it, and everybody knew that it was just like the thing to go to. Because that's what you have now. Like, for people that aren't into, like, music festivals like EDC and stuff like that, of course, when that comes to town, everybody wants to go. But for, like, Joe Average or a sports guy, when the Bananas come into town, even if you're not a baseball guy, I feel like you just want to be a part of it. It's got that WrestleMania kind of... Would you agree with that?
Tailor to everybody. I mean, you do not have to be a baseball fan
No.
at all. In fact, a lot of traditional baseball fans do not like what we
That's
do.
why I like what
so,
you guys do.
and
Yeah,
whereas
I'm a
we're
new
pulling
guy.
we're pulling in everybody else, and then I think even some of those hard-nosed traditionalists, when they come in, there's no way you're leaving there saying that sucked. You're not doing that. You can't do that.
Yeah, you're putting on such a great show
Yeah.
that is
And it's a
baseball
value, dude,
centric,
and it's priced right
in fact,
for families,
there's-
and people can get in there.
Like, because, you start looking at, like, the baseball traditionalists or even, like, Major League Baseball, right? It's only good for them because now you're exposing people to the sport of baseball at its root, It's like obviously the rules are a little different and there's a lot more show and pomp and circumstance and stuff and comedy involved. But the root of it, they're still playing a baseball game and they're playing it legitimately and both teams want to win. And you're getting young people involved and interested in baseball, which is
It's a little more rock and roll, a little more party, a little more fun, a little more young.
Now, you could make the argument that big ball, that's what I call MLB,
Fair enough.
could be sitting back in their, in their tower looking down at you guys saying, like, there could be a point where this gets more popular
And then we have to
than
come after them.
traditional baseball, and people prefer this experience over a regular
I think a
baseball
lot of people already
experience.
do. I mean,
And,
A lot of people already do.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
1.4 million people signing up for our ticket list
Yeah,
for
it's
a
a
chance at
legitimate
tickets
thing.
in 2 days.
Yeah.
Tells you all you need to know about just where people are at with this.
And that's when I buy you out and shut it all down. That's how
Our owner would never sell.
Yeah, I don't think he
Never.
would. Yeah.
Oh, there's a
I don't-
price.
I tell you what, I don't think there is.
No.
I don't think there is for him. He is the real
He bleeds
deal.
yellow, dog.
Oh,
He's the,
oh,
And
no.
that's what this is. I mean, he's had chances to
It's his baby.
We are doing something. I mean, his whole thing that he says to us is we are changing the world. And I know that sounds wild to say in sports entertainment.
it. It's cool.
But it's the real deal. As someone that has scratched and clawed in my little corner of entertainment, I'm watching our impact, and I don't see it just in baseball. I'm watching all live events start to incorporate and look at how we're doing things. This year alone, I've seen people from the NHL, the NFL, NASCAR, MLB, executives, owners come out and watch us and pick our brains. And most of us are in our 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
To
It's
find
amazing.
out what we are doing. And these are people that run billion-dollar franchises. We are shifting gears and we're hitting people where they're at. You know what I mean? Like the world is different right now and people's expectations about entertainment are different. And we are tapped into that remarkably well. And others are starting to look that have their dated approaches that they've been doing forever and seeing maybe there's something here. And I think that we are having that effect on people.
Real quick, because not to do another huge. Let's turn to the left here. But did you fly in the subway blimp?
I did.
How the hell did you get up in the subway blimp? I told that to Sam. She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I think he willed it to happen."
I literally willed it to happen, which sounds insane, but I don't know how else to explain it because a few thousand people tried to get on their website to get access to it. I was one of them, and I got through. And I have been tweeting all year randomly, before I even knew there was a subway blimp, that I want to ride in a blimp. Like, I think last February, this past February, it was National Bucket List Day. That's like February 20-something. I wrote, like, things I want to do. I said I want to ride in the Goodyear blimp. I want to ride in the Wienermobile. And I want to perform in Madison Square Garden. And then at the end, I went, seriously, how does somebody even get onto the Goodyear blimp? Like, because I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Somebody rides in it.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't even know that there's other blimps, because I have never seen any others other than that one. And in August,
EJ's a blimp, and he's one of our listeners, and he's in the chat room.
In August, my wife saw that, like, Subway was doing this thing, and that they were going to have a chance for fans to get on and do it, and we marked the date on our calendar. It was while we were in Cooperstown, so I was on the road, and 8 a.m. it went live, and we logged in. My wife and I logged in at the same time. She got on the website before I did, and I went right through, and they said, "Okay, you're in. We'll see you Wednesday." And
That's nuts.
I got on the blimp, and I tweeted about it a few times this year, and then it was a real thing, and I was in it.
How was it? I mean,
it was amazing. It was one of the. I mean,
is it quiet? Is it quiet in a
yeah,
blimp?
it's quiet. It's so cool. We were only about 1,000 feet up, and we were over downtown Orlando. I got to go, you can see Camping World Stadium right there over the Amway Center. And
Are people waving on the ground or anything?
If people saw it, I mean, it's mostly highways and stuff.
But it's a big.
You could
have
seen
it. It's like all the lunch meats, right? Isn't
it?
Yeah,
it was one of their new sandwiches, the Beast, as it was called.
Yeah,
is what they put on the side of the blimp.
Yeah, it's a big sandwich. You ride.
Only 6 people can ride in it at a time.
Was it scary at all?
I didn't think it was scary, but I've been on like 1 million airplanes this year, so I kind of gotten numb to
Sure.
that. But
Did they tell you any emergency practices or anything?
None. There was no
I like that.
directing it.
Oh,
We just
wow.
went up, and actually, there's guys on the ground holding ropes to hold us down, and
that'll
the thing
help.
moves.
Yeah,
like,
a couple of
Sounds
humans holding the rope
terrifying.
as the sandwich burst into hydrogen flames.
Oh, they don't film with the hydrogen.
No, I know.
No, it's
Come on,
helium,
have
yeah.
some fun with the fun show. It's a comedy show.
Although
This guy always has to stop everything and be like, "Excuse me, no more hydrogen, Dan."
it'd be more exciting if they did that.
I think so, too. I think so,
For
too.
the passengers.
Does the captain wear a captain suit?
No, he was in like a white polo, and actually, he was pretty
Oh,
cool. He
I don't
said there's
like
only
that.
like
I
30
gotta have a
guys.
jacket. I gotta have the admiral.
He said there's only like 30 guys in the world that can even fly them, because actually it's like way
Right.
more hours.
So
and,
what better reason to not wear a polo? You
Right.
gotta wear a jacket.
Yeah, go all in.
It's just like a hot air balloon. All you just steer. The wind currents take you where you steer it.
Tom and I almost advertised and bought a blimp.
Really?
We
no,
went
we're
up to
about
the-
advertising.
We're
on the blimp.
advertising on a blimp. We went up to Grand Bohemian, and then I got drunk, and then we sat through a presentation.
Oh yeah. I was standing at that pool bar telling
Yeah.
my friends, I was like, "This is where the blimp never took
Yeah,
off."
never took off. They're
Oh,
like, "Oh,
man.
the weather's too bad, sir," and then we're
Blimp
like,
that
"Good
never flew."
day."
So I'm real quick. I'm curious. Then so if you look at like the Harlem Globetrotters, right, and
God,
how
you're obsessed
popular
with them.
they were, and then but there seemed to be some sort of drop off in their popularity, and I'm wondering if like your owner probably studied like what caused that, because there was like a height of popularity, and then why. Like maybe the basketball became like more. I
That's
feel
a
like
good question, because I remember
they started dunking more, and then maybe adding excitement because of the Harlem Globetrotters. I can wonder if there had any effect in the way that professional basketball players played because of the popularity of the Harlem Globetrotters in like the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
it was
did that
very
have an influence?
popular, but it wasn't embraced the same way that like the Bananas are. In '83, I saw the Globetrotters with my dad.
Yeah.
It was sort of the same experience, but it seems like basketball and basketball culture sort of looked down on the Harlem Globetrotters as being like goofy. I don't see that same thing as much with fans with the Bananas. You see what I'm saying? Like, it seems like more people see the Bananas for a gateway into baseball. Maybe it has to speak on the popularity of basketball at the time, right? Traditional basketball was more popular than the Harlem Globetrotters. In this scenario, I think the Bananas are more popular than traditional baseball, and maybe that's the difference.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's been the comparison, and there's like, you looked at both of the business models.
It's the one comparison we get all the time.
Yeah.
And I know, it's meant as a compliment. I know our owner does not necessarily like that
Sure,
that
yeah,
particular comparison.
I get it.
And really because our game is a real game. Like there's a real competitive element, whereas like the Globetrotters, they're not out to have a real like athletic contest between the guys. They're meant to show off their talent, and don't get me wrong, those guys are remarkable.
It was an
athletes.
exhibition game.
Yeah.
You're right.
Correct.
You're right. It's approached differently, and I think just that subtle approach.
It's a big difference.
It
It's
is
small, but it's major.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this so unique and different.
And like my friends that are diehard traditionalists in baseball, they don't hate or dislike the Bananas. They all look at it like, oh, this is awesome.
And
it's different, but it's awesome.
And also the sport itself lends it for Banana Ball to work better than the Harlem Globetrotters, right?
It's pacing, everything,
Because
really.
if the Harlem Globetrotters really tried against the old Washington Generals,
yeah, they would destroy
well,
them.
not even that. It would just take everything away.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then with baseball, the sport of baseball,
Pacing's different.
The pacing, and you can get away with adding all this fun and not really hinder
pull
the
away from the
actual
game. Yeah.
competition. You know,
Yeah.
where you couldn't do that in basketball. So just the sport. It makes it completely
It's
different.
perfect.
It's super interesting, man.
I never thought of it that way, but that's a fantastic point. Like, because like if you're
Ooh, he loves it
playing
when people
basketball,
tell him he
like
has
you have to
fantastic
play.
Yeah,
Like
at all
there's
time-
no breaks, there's no stopping.
Like soccer, you're not going to
Yeah.
be able to pause for a second to do something
To
fun.
juggle the ball
Yeah, you can't
and-
do that.
Yeah, because you're head to head. The team is playing each other at the same time,
Yeah.
real time. And in baseball, it's
There's
pitcher
starting and
against batter.
stopping.
Yeah.
There's enough time there that you can add all of this that it doesn't take away from
No.
it. And we can still keep moving very fast. I mean,
Yeah, it
one of-
enhances the game.
Right. I mean, one of our half innings went 57 seconds this year. That's our shortest half. I mean, it wasn't like just 3 pitches and all 3 guys got out. It was a legit inning, and that's one of the stats that we track in Banana Ball is minutes per inning, and we broke the 1-minute mark this year while still adding all of the craziness to the game.
Last question, I promise.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Is there ever a time that you see Banana Ball being on TV or broadcast for the world to see?
I think the answer is yes, but it has to be under our terms because we are all about fans and fan experience, and that world is all advertisers and advertising and money and dollars. And while, everyone likes money and dollars, our goal is to take care of our fans. And so our stuff is on YouTube, but we've had a few games on Nesson, the Northeast Sports Network, and we had a game on ESPN2 not too long ago. So, I mean, we've played with it.
They want it so bad. Oh, my God, TV is just
Yeah,
they're
it's
salivating
just
for it.
we don't have any sponsorships.
But they'll ruin it. If they
Right.
get a hold of it, it's true.
We don't have any sponsors, because if you have sponsors own you. And we don't want that. We want to create this experience. And so any partnerships that we have now, which we did add some this year, we added Zappos. Duncan got in with
Where's
us.
Chiquita on this?
They're not on there. I don't.
Right? Should they?
At some point,
That's crazy,
maybe.
yeah.
How can you not? How can you not? Literally anything you guys need. We're the Banana Guys. You're the Banana Guys. Anything you need, we'll just
We
stroke a
use
check.
real bananas every game.
Right,
So
we'll
like,
stroke a check for you.
But then Big Chiquita comes in, and they're like, "We don't like that dance. It's too
I know.
provocative."
That's why they don't want that. You're right, you're right.
that's why we don't do it.
100% right.
But man, young professor, it's really cool to see how big this has grown, even since the first time we've talked to you. And the potential is so astronomically big that I foresee you eventually never coming in here again.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Don't be
right?
tough,
That's the
Banana.
goal.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you'll
that's
be
the goal.
because it happened with Burt Kreischer.
I
You are
want-
rocketing past us.
I want Sam to reach out because you won't
Yeah,
reach out to us anymore. And I want Sam to reach out to you, and I want you to be like, I'm sorry, guys. Hope you're well.
No,
I won't even get a
nothing.
response.
Yeah.
No,
You get
he's nice.
response.
He's nice.
Just
I think he'll
ghost.
give us a
Just
response.
ghost.
I think he'll give us a response.
But literally, the potential, it's endless. And then this can get so big that, you guys are, traveling around selling out every single Major League Baseball stadium in
the
every
world,
town.
in the
You know what I'm
world.
saying? And
Not just North America.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
take it all across the globe.
Yeah, you go to Japan. Baseball's huge there.
Oh, they
You-
want us. They've been
Oh,
knocking on our door.
Yeah.
Mexico, Canada,
Japan is the
Australia.
spot. You go to Japan, they
Yeah.
already have wacky entrances in Japan.
What are you doing? Merch. The merch. We were just talking about it.
You make tiny shirts, tiny shirts.
Anyway.
Our merch is a little cheaper, by the way, than what you
It
spend.
is way
so-
cheaper. Congrats on the full-time gig, man.
Thank you.
We love you, and keep coming in here while you can, but we understand.
Yeah. And if you want to throw out how you could even get in the lottery.
Yeah, just go to the Savannah Bananas website, savannahbananas.com/tickets or thepartyanimals.com/tickets because they have their own tour as part of this too. And we have a new team now. The Firefighters are the newest Banana Ball team, and so they'll be playing, I think, 19 games this year against both the Bananas and the Party Animals. So the world is expanding.
Yeah, they only play pickleball in my world.
That's a lot of ping pong.
That's all I think
know
know how to play. Anyway,
all
right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome, man. That was great.
Did we go a little too long?
Yeah, but it'll be. I think it'll be okay. Where's that guy?
Wednesday 4.
Thanks for doing that, buddy.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
It was super fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, just the size of the waiting list that you have is only going to get bigger, and then it's brilliant just having it be a lottery like that, just because it's like, you know, you can't just buy a ticket. You gotta win one, and that makes the experience a lot better for everybody there. You know, it's like I won this in a lottery to get here, so it's special. It's even more special. You know?
Are we doing any more before lunch?
Yeah, we need to do one more voicemail email.
Yeah, perfect.
Just so that we have it as a backup in case this EJ thing doesn't go along. We'll just use that as the.
My man. Thank you so much for coming
you
in,
guys.
man.
How long do you?
I'm so happy for you.
Playing in
So
Central
we
Florida.
open in Tampa, and that's the only time we're really in Central Florida.
Yeah, in February, and then they have some in
And then
Jacksonville.
we're in Jacksonville the first weekend in March, and then that's it for Florida until we do Miami at the very end.
Okay.
So no more Daytona, and of course everybody, because I live 30 minutes from Daytona, and that's where I kind of came up. So everybody's like, "Why are you not doing Daytona?" I'm like, just look at the numbers. That's a 4,000 seat stadium. We're playing 40,000 seat stadiums now. We can't.
Crazy, yeah.
You know, it doesn't make as much sense to be at these smaller places because so many people want to see us. You know, in Tampa and Jacksonville, we get 10,000 each night, so it's a difference maker.
Yeah, and it's interesting about you now being the casting director. That you know, we should have slaved this longer because I was going to ask you about casting, the players, how much does talent and how much does their ability to their personality make? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's part of it, but I'm not that's literally on the baseball side.
Oh, okay.
So I'm literally over our cast, so our Banana Nanas, our Nanas, our band, and we're adding more characters. We've had a princess in the past. She's kind of like a Disney princess, but she's Princess Potassia. So we have these weird characters because we want everyone to kind of connect with something. Gotcha. Right, because you've got theater kids, you've got kids that don't give a crap about baseball, that don't know any of that stuff, and so you want to have all these different things that they can kind of tap into too. And there's a lot of us, and we're gonna need way more of them. Bananas, a dad bod cheer squad, that go up there in with the fans the whole game. I have to hire these guys and train them and get them doing coordinated dances and cheers and things in the stands, and now in 30,000 seat stadium.
Do you all travel and bus it
Typically, I mean, some places we fly to and then we bus around, but usually we bus. And it's 2 or 3 buses. And
okay.
It's massive. Yeah.
You might get a photo?
Not at all.
We're so bad
absolutely.
at that. We always forget to get a photo. Sam, you want to be in this?
Sure. Or I can take it, whichever.
I like it when we're all in it. Yeah.
We need to get that.
Selfie stick?
Yeah, I'll get one.
Tomorrow this on?
Yes.
Shirt?
It is. Oh yeah, let's get him a shirt. See, we're remembering things.
XL.
We're remembering things. We're doing it.
Our brains are working.
I know. It's crazy.
Thing too, our tickets are first available. So you don't get an assigned seat, which also adds to people line up for hours, which creates this gives us a lot more programming options too. So now we're doing a pre-show even for people that are just out in line. The games will start at 7. We open the gates at 5:30.
Okay.
We start entertaining them at 5:40.
That's awesome.
That's when I'm out doing a lot of warm up, and then we do about 50 different things before we throw the first pitch. Oh wow. And by the time we start, the place is we just build.
Yeah, a lot of the footage I've seen is from the pre-show stuff.
Oh yeah, because if you're watching my stuff, that's what I'm most active is
it's awesome.
That. And then we get into the game, and that's where you see all the stuff on TikTok, and then I do a lot of the stuff on the in-betweens, but we've got singing and dancing and skits and this.
I'm just so stoked that you got to do it full time because last time you and I talked, that was the goal. That was the goal. I'm so happy for you, man. That's awesome. That's
how many people get to do that? You know?
nobody, dude. You're making shit happen. I love it. It's inspiring, man.
It's fun. I'm blessed and I'm grateful.
Well, don't be a stranger.
Give me a chance to come talk.
Anytime, man. Tell us when you want to pop by.
I appreciate you coming on here because obviously the Savannah Bananas don't need the promotion.
No, they don't. But like,
it's cool that you come in here. Just for us to keep that connection.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. What did they say? Yeah, that Braves game was ridiculous. Michael Harris. Gotta give it up for Michael Harris. Why didn't I wear a Braves hat today? I don't know. It must be. This packing lunch shit is for the birds. Maisie's very particular about how her nuggets have to be
Surprised she doesn't make her own.
engineered. I'm going to teach her how to do it. The key is to teach them how to do
Yeah.
this shit. She doesn't like them. She doesn't like them air fried. She likes them microwaved.
Does she get to reach
Cheers,
them
man.
at school?
Yeah. Just let us know when you want to come by.
I work remote now. I don't have to be in school every day.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. We'll talk to you soon. See you, dude. That was great.
So what do you want to do, like a Tuesday 4?
Yeah, we'll just do a Tuesday. We'll just
And,
do
like what time frame are you thinking?
I was thinking 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let's just do 15 minutes before lunch. That way, that
In
whole,
case we need it, yeah.
if the swimming challenge thing is 30 minutes or less, then the 15-minute will work. So we'll do 40 Nerd Jock with EJ after lunch, and then just go do and we'll just keep the swimming challenge at 30, and then we should be fine.
The way to do that is to do it old school bit wise, where we pad it in the beginning. You know, we get there, we hash it out a little bit while we're there.
I do want to talk. Crystal has made me worried a little bit.
Did you bring swimming trunks?
Yeah.
What's wrong? Is she okay?
No. I was talking about the swimming competition.
Oh my God! Sorry. My brain disconnected, and I was like, "What's happening?" I was like, "Sorry, I'm in tragedy mode right now."
No, that's fine. I didn't make the joke, but I wanted to. When you said pain in the rump, I was like, I heard your hips get worse.
Dude, you can make all the jokes. The jokes help. All right. I'll bring us back.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. That was a welcome back, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do some voicemail, email, or or just talk.
We're just
about
talking.
whatever.
We're just talking out loud here. Did you? Hey, I got my fog machine. I'll give you an update. I got my fog chiller machine in yet.
Okay.
But because Andrea is out of town on a work trip, and because the amount that she does morning, noon, and night for our family is so immense, and she's so efficient at it, I haven't had any time to even open the box because I cannot run my home. It's out of control.
Well,
I'm holding it together, but literally barely holding the house together. There's so many things she does. Like just making the lunch, the way that she makes the lunch is so like she uses all these things that like are just make me so angry. I wanted to save this for the Friday Free Show. I can't take it anymore. We have now become the family that uses reusable Ziploc bags. Reusable Ziploc bag. We're the reusable Ziploc bag guys.
I've never even heard of that. What do you mean
they got 'em.
reusable?
Don't show them to your wife, or you're going to get reusable Ziploc bags too. Do not show these to Crystal Van, or you will be living the nightmare that is reusable Ziploc bags.
No, Crystal too lazy for that.
They're I got to wash them out. I'm putting Maisie's. She likes none of the other kids like salt and vinegar chips. She likes salt and vinegar chips. I give her salt and vinegar chips. I put them in the Ziploc bag, and then every day I gotta rinse it out because then she'll want like salsa verde chips or something.
Well, but-
Gotta rinse it out so the flavors don't mix.
Or just go buy some, cheapo Ziploc bags.
Andrea doesn't want to do that anymore. Too cheap. She wants reusable.
Is it
Ziploc
the money
bag.
or is it the environment?
It's not the environment, Tom. It's not the environment. She
I
got
don't
a big
know,
old
how much money-
SUV just smoking up Orlando. She's driving around like Taylor Swift's jet all around Orlando. Big smoking SUV for one little lady.
How much money do you save by buying reusable Ziploc bags?
I don't know. I don't do
It's
any
like
of them.
$3?
I don't know any of the money. You'll have to talk to my cheap wife. I have no idea, but they're reusable Ziploc bags.
Oh, I buy the most environmentally unfriendly, like individual serving size Pringles and it's all indivical serving
Oh, I
size.
love
and
that.
I
Yeah,
throw
and
it
you just
all
go
in there.
Pringles, peanut butter. It's
No,
just
no,
all like process.
Yeah, Uncrustable,
Yeah.
cheese stick,
It's factory
Pringles,
food. It's all factory food.
granola bar, some sort of individually wrapped whatever, Cheetos.
No, I gotta do it and the nuggets gotta be done a certain way. This is what I gotta do for nuggets. Nuggets can't be air fried. She don't like air fried nuggets, which I'm like, you don't like crispy nuggets? Why? I gotta do microwave nugs, and then I have to take her thermos out like an old man, and I have to boil water, and then pour the boiling water into the thermos like an old man getting ready to go in a coal mine. And I have to let the boiling water sit in the thermos for 10 minutes with a timer. And then when the timer goes off, I have to wipe out the boiling water, pour it out, and then wipe it out, then put a napkin in, then put the nugs inside, then close it, and then put it in the lunchbox to keep it hot. Because you got to keep the nugs hot.
Hold on. I thought you guys were making fun of me about egg sandwich.
I didn't know this process. I didn't do this process.
Sounds like Andrea's been doing a lot of work.
I know. And I've been telling you guys for years that Andrea is, in certain ways, very much like Tom. And if she hears this, she's going to be mad because I'm opening the genie bottle.
You're giving her secrets.
I'm giving up the secrets today.
She boils water in the thermos, and then to get it pre-hot, like the outside hot, and then she wipes it out, then puts the thermos.
Too much.
And then you put the hot nuggets in the hot
What's your
thermos.
microwave it?
Why don't
You can't microwave metal, you idiot.
No, you put it in a coffee mug, then you pour it in the thermos.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do, but I'm still boiling water. I'm not
right.
I'm not
We
using
thought you were sitting there waiting for the water to boil.
I mean, maybe I did one time.
I thought Maisie will buy her lunch. I thought
Sam told me she will. Sometimes she will, but this year I don't know. She doesn't like any of the stuff that the old ladies
they
up
changed
there.
up the menu.
Yeah, they did change up the menu, and she says.
Well, with the nuggets, is she eating them cold at school?
No, the thermos. She says the thermos actually does a pretty darn because she eats I don't know if you guys have checked, but kids now eat lunch. They get to school at like 8 or whatever, and then they eat lunch at like 10:15.
Well,
so they're still hot.
That's what she says.
Tommy eats lunch late. I think it just depends. I think the older grades,
they don't let them eat
push
lunch
them
at
back
the same time as like prison because they don't want to fraternize. It is a prison, come to think of it.
I'll like heat up like Tommy will eat hot dogs for lunch. I'll like make him.
I could do that.
But he's definitely eating a cold hot dog because I'm putting that straight in a Tupperware.
Yeah,
I'm not.
That's fine.
And then
I gotta work with Andrea when she gets back and try to change some of her ways because.
Well, she's doing the work.
No, but it's like again, it's not stuff that needs to be done. None of it is. You're right. I could just take the nuggets in the napkin, put them in the thermos, don't warm the thermos. It's just
this makes me feel better because I talk about making my sons weak by doing all this.
Yeah.
But it's different for each parent, right?
I didn't
Maisie knows.
I thought Maisie was eating an MRE.
But she knows that I won't I'm only doing that because of her mom, right? I don't typically. I'm not going to do that. Like make an egg, make your own food. I don't do that. I'm just doing it because she knows her mom does it now, and I'm trying to check the boxes for Andrea. Yeah, but it should make you feel better.
Well, she left you the list of things to do.
It's so huge. I got to run the Roomba. I got to do everything's on a schedule. It's like turn this on, turn that on, turn this on.
Does it make you appreciate what she does?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Yeah, without a doubt. But it also makes me know that what I've been screaming for years is correct, and that it's just her process. It's just, she doesn't.
It sounds like she's the one keeping the house in order.
Oh, she absolutely is.
No, yeah.
But she doesn't need to do it that way.
Well, that's why Macy said, who's going to take care of me?
Right.
You guys aren't helping me out. No, she's doing it wrong. A lot of these things are unnecessary things. They don't need to be done that way.
Yeah. Well, it does.
It's a lot of waste of time.
It makes me feel better that she's doing the same things that I was doing or still am to Tommy and Max. I thought, for whatever reason, I thought you ran your household like dictatorship. But that's why she was so tough and independent.
For some things, but Sam's right. I am going to teach her how to do her new nuggets.
Yeah.
She's doing those tomorrow. She's going to pack her own lunch tomorrow because she's packed her lunch before. If it's
my son don't pack anything.
She can pack her lunch.
My sons wouldn't even check if their lunch is in there. And they didn't even know. I switch their lunches every once in a while by accident.
Yeah.
And they don't even know.
Max got the hot dog?
Yeah, they complain about it too.
But they don't even know until lunch. They don't even know. They'll go to the car without their backpacks.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Because they'll forget that they have to take it.
Andrea and Maisie both look at me and they're like, do we have everything? Like, Maisie has a checklist. Like, Andrea made 2 checklists, right?
Yeah.
One is for me, one is for Maisie. Maisie has her own checklist.
When do you guys stop making their lunches?
When do I? Well, she can make.
When do parents stop making
We're
lunch?
close.
I feel like
we're close.
We either got free lunch, or if I wanted to bring my lunch, I had to make it myself.
We're pretty close.
Well, I'll tell you.
And it was just like a sandwich and chips.
In my personal
or Lunchable.
I got my lunch made for me up until high school.
Oh man,
I don't think I tell people
Even
that.
in middle school, like
that doesn't sound like a prize-winning swimmer to me.
like senior year, you're getting your lunch made.
No. I said up until high school.
Okay,
like,
so once high school, you're like, all right,
ninth
now.
grade. No, well, ninth grade, I just bought the pizza because
pizza and tater tots.
Like no,
on the
no.
styrofoam.
And when my high school, they had like
you had Pizza Hut.
Papa
That's right.
John's.
Oh
Like,
yeah, we had like Popeyes and Papa
Yeah,
John's.
we had-
I never had that.
the
Old guys like me never had that. We didn't get any brand name stuff.
like the
Well, the
corporations.
corporations got into the school system.
Yeah. And then
I think they removed them now, though. It depends on the school.
I
guess.
was lucky, like
I was
in
just-
my day, the last thing I got senior year, we got a Coke machine. That's how old I am. A soda machine.
Yeah.
It was like,
did yours
what?
Have, did
We
yours
can buy
have
a
bars
soda?
over them like
No,
ours?
we had a soda machine, and you could only use it after or before school, not during school. I'm like, oh, okay.
Coca-Cola, $4 nickel Coca-Cola.
It's the little bottle. You'd have to go to the general store. The old man would open it up for you.
I do think like if when Tommy goes to middle school, he's still gonna bring his lunch. Like I brought a brown bag of lunch, and my mom made me a bologna and cheese sandwich. And I don't even know what, like some bag of chips.
That's what I got
in a brown bag.
And then when I went to high school, just like you, I just bought lunch. It was like $1.10, $1.35.
And then when you drive, you go to the Burger King, smoke weed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we did. We usually go to Burger King or Long John Silver's. Those were the only two.
And then there's random shootings every once in a while. Like
we never had that.
Like they wouldn't shoot each other, but someone would come by and just shoot a gun
random
into the
bullet,
air. Well, no, just shoot a gun into the air and the crowd would disperse.
We never had that.
Yeah,
Not in DeLand.
that was in Miami.
You want to do a couple of voicemails? I got a couple
let's do
because,
it.
man, they're piling up. We got some good ACT voicemails. We have a brand new app, and by brand new, I mean we've had an app for a very long time, but we finally got in there and started doing some really good work to make it better for you guys, easier to use, fixing up a lot of the problems that we had. If you have had the Tom and Dan app in the past, maybe go and re-download it and update it because I think you will like it. You can also leave us messages like this one right here.
Hello, Tom, Dan, and Sam. I believe you guys probably have heard about old Mel Tucker at the Michigan State football. He's some bad person, it appears to be, and he's lost his job. So I was doing a little of my own research on other idiot coaches in college football, and I came across Pat Fitzgerald, who was recently fired from Northwestern, which was his alma mater, and he'd coached there for 15, 20 years, and they had a little bit of a hazing issue at this school. Mostly typical homoerotic stuff that we're used to by football team hazings. But my favorite piece from the article I read was about one of the things they would call car wash, in which...
Can I guess what this is? What car wash is? I think we can all pretty much guess what car wash is, right?
Yeah. I think we've actually mentioned this story.
I think
about...
EJ's done a car wash before, right?
Oh, yeah. And,
Out of all of
and
our
then
friends...
early 2000s, different time.
In early 2000s, he was known as Car Wash Boy.
But I think it's when...
you line up guys on either side, right? It's 10 guys a side.
This is very homoerotic.
And they all
Yeah,
point
that's all it's
there,
about,
and it's all ding-dongs in.
Yeah.
And then you get the water going, and you run through the car wash, right?
But the person that runs through is nude too, right? So it's nude on nude.
I think everyone's nude.
Yeah.
I think everyone's nude.
Well,
I don't think that this is gay at all. That come to think of it, this is just this is just good, clean fun.
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
is the toughest thing.
Yeah,
you
this
can
is
do.
the toughest thing you can do.
sounds
As
like
a
it. Sounds
heterosexual
like
man, the toughest thing you can do is run through a field of dongs. It's
But-
tough.
But again, I think I've
Yeah.
made this exact joke. Like, if you, the bully,
How fast do you think you can run through? I mean, my hips are bad, but I think I could do it.
if you're trying to haze the new kid, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to haze them by making them rub against your nude body. What? How is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I like him. I don't want to, but I like him. I don't want to be mean.
Aren't you doing the same thing he's going through as well?
Right.
Like, you're both.
Your ding dong's out.
But that's why it's okay, because I'm not going to make you do anything I wouldn't do.
Well, that's not true either. In a lot of the hazing.
See that? But if I'm going to make you run the car wash, then I'm at least going to be part of the car wash.
Why
fair's
do you
fair.
want him to rub up against your ding dong?
Fair's just because it's fair's fair.
But essentially, it's like if you're dunking the nerd in the toilet, but you're wearing a toilet hat.
Right.
Yeah.
So
now
you're
you
like,
get it.
what are
Now
you
you
saying?
get it.
Are you bullying
It would have
him?
to be,
Are
it
you
would have to
showing
be a
him this?
flushable toilet hat. It couldn't just be a novelty toilet hat.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying.
It'd have to be an actual water flushable toilet hat.
It's who's actually getting bullied here? Are you giving them what you
That's
want?
the question. That's the question. Right? Nobody really knows.
It's very confusing.
And I think that's why it works out. That's why hazing works, is because if
so
you're
everybody's confused about
by the way,
what happening.
I'm bullying myself while I'm doing this, so we're good.
Okay, but it's like in old school when you're making the recruits throw the cinder block tied to their ding dong off the the rope.
Never heard
Yeah.
of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like the person, the coach or the bully or the senior isn't also throwing the
Right.
cinder block tied to his ding dong. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's just instructing everybody else to do it. But with the car wash, they're actually involved as well, and they're
That one I
naked
think
too.
you want as many people nude as possible, so there's a lot of bad people. You know, a lot of culprits.
Anyway,
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what is this guy?
He's basically just talking about car wash. That's it. Let's do this one right here.
Hey, Tom and Dan, Tampa BDM. Hey, Dan, your BDM show, on the BDM show last week, you're talking about maybe coming over to Tampa, kind of getting out of the house, doing some things on your own.
Can't do that anymore. Found out my hips are rotten tomorrow,
God.
so it's
Now he's
gotta
an
stay
invalid.
inside. Gotta stay
No,
inside.
you're
now.
the same as you were
Nope,
last week.
nope,
There's nothing different.
Nope, same as it ever was.
No.
Yep, I've been doing a ton of that. Been divorced a bunch of years now. Took me a while to kind of get in the flow, but I'd love to take you paddleboarding, go grab some tacos, do something. Anyways, Tampa BDM, Brendan Walsh. Find me on Facebook.
All right,
There you go.
I
Got an
I
invite to go
friends.
paddleboarding.
I got friends
Grab
now.
a
I'm gonna
beer and a lunch.
Yeah, grab some tacos and paddleboard with my new best friend Brendan. He did say Brendan, right?
I couldn't tell if it was Brendan or Brandon.
Brendan or
but it was
Brandon.
one of those.
Yeah.
Go
You're gonna
paddleboarding.
Paddleboard.
Can't bad hips. Can't paddleboard. I have to sit on the board. And
You
he
only
can
need your
paddle me
arms
around.
to move on the
I guess I could
paddleboard,
lay
right?
on it like a surfboard and paddle around.
Paddleboarding sucks.
You hate. I know you hate paddleboarding.
Listen.
And can I tell you something? I'm going to make you happy. I've tried paddleboarding. I've defended paddleboarding. I was wrong about paddleboarding.
Yeah.
You were right
Yeah.
about paddleboarding. And paddleboarding. Don't laugh out there in the lobby. I'm giving him an apology. I am sorry. You were right about paddleboarding. As I've gotten older, I think I wanted to like paddleboarding because I thought that it would be cooler than it is. And it has stayed in its normal homeostasis of being horrible. And it never got better. And I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Paddleboarding sucks.
And here's why it's even worse than kayaking is because you're standing, which is an unnatural rowing position.
It is.
And so at least with kayaking, you can
be on your knees too.
Yeah, well then the other paddleboarders.
Who do you think I am? I'd rather live
yeah.
on my feet than die on my knees, Sam.
Okay. but also, if people see you on
Paddleboarding
your knee,
on your knees, hey, what are you doing? We got a gay paddleboarder.
They'll make fun of you if you paddleboard on your knees.
You know, they really make
it's
fun
like
of you
doing
if you
push-ups
lay on
your
your
knees.
back and you do a backstroke on a paddleboard. I've done that before. People really make fun of you.
But
Does anybody actively get it pumped? Like they load their sup on their, because normally you have to pull a trailer because those things are humongous. Do people get pumped to load their sup, that's what they're called, onto the trailer, and then you ride down to the lake and you're like, hell yeah, 3 miles an hour, bruh.
I think it's less than that. Like
1 mile an hour, bruh.
Also, if any sort of wake comes, you're
whoa. I don't have a good core. I don't have a good core.
You're like it hard. Like if I mean.
And then I see girls doing yoga on them. Have you seen those? Where the girls, they get out there and then they start doing poses. They do yoga poses and then they have their friend snap a photo and then they put an inspirational quote. You've seen this before.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, take on the day. Your wife has been slipping into inspirational quote land lately. and I have to like look at her Instagram and then like I have to like shut it real fast.
Oh God, she did something embarrassing where on her Facebook she's like, you know what? Oat milk tastes just as good as regular
Why did
milk.
she post that? I was like, did she get
true.
hacked?
Oh, I was
Not
embarrassed.
true. Who said that?
I was embarrassed.
Why would you say that?
I went on there because there was
You're
no
a
comment.
She
liar.
also like posted it like.
When's the
like
last time
she
you had
was
regular milk?
talking to somebody?
Does she drink regular milk?
No.
Then she has no idea what she's talking about. I
but-
drink regular milk every day.
She saw a commercial about cows being milked, or some sort of documentary. I don't know, something. and
Ooh,
it's
let's
on-
put a cow on a stand-up paddleboard.
And then she's like, she's like, look at this. It's horrible. We don't need this. There's other milk.
You know
And
what?
then
Oat
I
milk
heard
is
her say it.
great.
And then I'm like, just don't just think it in your head. Don't tell people. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
They don't care
And
about
it doesn't
animals.
taste. You can't cook with it. You can't do anything
She
with
says
it.
you can in this post.
No,
yeah,
you can't
yeah.
cook
She
with
says
it.
it literally cooks the same, drinks the same,
It
and
does
it's
not.
healthier.
It does not cook the same. I have made hamburger helper that I made for Maisie last night, and it's homemade.
Yeah,
Don't put creamer in
hamburger
there.
helper. It's homemade.
It
But
tastes
if
oaty.
you use it, does taste oaty, and it doesn't thicken. There's no thickening agent
Yeah,
to it.
the viscosity is too
Yeah,
thin.
it doesn't thicken at all. In fact, you pour it in there and it starts separating. I'm like, no.
But I want I want my mac and cheese to taste like it was strained through hay.
Mac and hay. The old mac and hay.
How does this taste dusty?
It's like Andrea with beets. She'd always put
Oh,
beets in our
beets are
smoothies.
disgusting.
It tastes like dirt.
All right.
She's like, it's healthy. I'm like, I know.
We will see you tomorrow.
All right,
We're
guys. I
too
guess we
long.
gotta go. Bye. No, I'm not gonna go that fast. We're going over to do
Are we
other
gonna come back on Twitch for Nerd Jock or?
other things. Yeah, we'll be back on Twitch for Nerd Jock. So we'll be back in like